Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer with a huge selection of outdoor power equipment including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate is hosting an exciting open house on November 23rd from 2 to 4 p.m. in the sought-after Brownstone subdivision. Maplewood Construction's newest home features a fireplace in the living space and bathrooms with all 3 bedrooms. This home also has a 2-car garage and a spacious backyard for entertaining. You can view this home at Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate's open house on November 23rd from 2 to 4. And is now serving the Upper Cumberland with locations in both Crossville and Cookeville, offering the largest array of solid wood furniture and mattresses in the area. They also provide a best price guarantee and in-house service and delivery. Stop into their 15,000 square foot showroom at 1020 South Willow Avenue in Cookeville to see their selection of Amish solid wood, flex steel, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and much more today. Mayberry's Furniture is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the high school football game of the week on the UCR Media Network.
Basketball season is finally here. Welcome into Brentwood High School, where we are set to kick off the 2025-26 season, and we've got a great doubleheader on tap for you tonight as Upperman takes on Brentwood. I'm Noah McKay on the call here on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. Upperman basketball is presented by Gentry's Power Equipment. Let's get right to it. The tee-up starting lineups and what should be a fantastic girls basketball contest tonight, starting for the Brentwood Lady Bruins under head coach John Wilkins. Number 12, Maggie Buckley. Number 20, Bella Foss. Number 22, Paige Morris. Number 24, Kaylee Blood. And number 34, Callie Whitfield. Their opponents tonight are the Upperman Lady Bees and their head coach Dana McWilliams. The starters for the Lady Bees on the road tonight. Number 3, the sophomore point guard, Cassie Crouch. Number 11, a junior guard, Sadie South. Number 12, a senior guard, Taylor Delenti. Number 22, a senior guard, Gracie Butler. And number 23, a senior forward, Maggie Butler. 2 teams with glass house aspirations this season. Brentwood out of Class 4A, Upperman out of Class 3A. Both teams had those aspirations a year ago, stamped out in the region semifinals. And they're set to face off tonight here at Brentwood, live on UCR2 and the Upper Cumberland Reporter YouTube channel alongside the NFHS Network. We're happy to be along with you this evening. I am Noah McKay, the lovely Madison McKay producing things for us here tonight. Lights down here as the starters are introduced for Brentwood. I mentioned the year each team last year had state championship hopes. Brentwood 25-5, but they fell to a team that made it to the state tournament, Lincoln County in their region semifinal. Upperman had state championship aspirations a year ago. They also fell to a really good team, Livingston Academy, last year in the region for 3A semifinals. And for the Lady Bees entering this season, a lot of familiarity. 4 returning starters, group of girls that have played together for a long time. Of course, with the Butler twins, Sadie South and Taylor Delenti, perhaps the biggest X factor for Coach Dana McWilliams this year, their sophomore point guard, Cassie Crouch. Played sporadically behind 2 seniors a year ago. Now a Crouch in number 3, running the point. All reports say she's had a sensational offseason. We'll see what the senior guard, or the sophomore guard, I should say, with a lot of expertise around her. 3 other seniors, 1 junior in that starting lineup for the Lady Bees, who open up the year, the number 3 ranked team in the UC Top 5. And as I mentioned, certainly state tournament aspirations. Upperman unveiling their new uniforms tonight. They're the black jerseys and shorts, gold numbers and letters, with white lettered names across the back plate. Brentwood in their home, white jerseys, white shorts, blue numbers and letters. It's a beautiful day in Williamson County. We're happy to be along with you. Let's get it on in the 2025-26 season as the Lady Bees possess the basketball. Gracie Butler has a lane to operate, drives and kicks back to Sadie South, but a delayed whistle and a quick charge called on Gracie Butler. She has a perplexed look on her face, but quickly, 9 seconds in, already a foul called against the Lady Bees. Brentwood basketball, Upperman going to start in their press. The Lady Bees feel like their advantage this year, their team speed. They're going to press a lot this year. This is a very good Brentwood squad, though. 2 games tonight, absolutely up in the air, could go either way. Lady Bruins possess in the half court. They work it over right wing side for Maggie Buckley. Buckley throws it across for Paige Morris. Morris goes to work, activates the dribble, gets a screen. Crouch works across it. Now Buckley with a little spin move, looking backdoor swipe by Sadie South. Fight for it on the floor. Maggie Butler has it, and she finds Crouch, who weaves her way up the floor. Crouch with a cross-court feed to Sadie South. Upperman possesses. We're 40 seconds in. Here's Cassie Crouch with it now in the half court, picked up by Maggie Buckley. She'll give to South. Now left side, Gracie Butler. Taylor Delenti back to Gracie Butler. Gracie activates. Little contact, play on. Kick out, deep 3 for Maggie. That one's no good. Long rebound, though. Grabbed by Gracie. Lady Bees possess. Gracie drives the lane again. Off the glass. No, another miss. Couple of empty trips for the Lady Bees here early on in this game. We are scoreless, 1 minute and 10 seconds in. Bringing it up here is Bella Foss. Foss throws behind her to Paige Morris. Morris kicks into the corner now, trying to work down the Lady Bees. Now a foul will be called for a bump. On the floor, they'll say. Taylor Delenti will pick up the personal as Maggie Buckley tried to work on her. Second team foul of the game. Both called against the Lady Bees so far. We'll get those glitches fixed for just a moment. You'll go black, and we'll be right back. As we are back, here's Sadie South with the steal. And we'll get you all situated inside. Good and 1. Gracie Butler with the roll after a steal on the other side. And they are expecting huge things out of Gracie Butler this season as she rattles home the first points of the game. And they're going to get Maggie Buckley with her first, team's first on the Lady Bruins. Free throw good for Gracie. And the Lady Bees lead 3-0 here, 90 seconds in. Full court press to get another steal. Taylor Delenti takes it away. She'll drive, sends it across to Gracie off the glass. Good for 2. 3 turnovers forced by the Lady Bee press early on. It's 5-0, and they are still in it. Now spinning ahead, here's Maggie Buckley. She sends it over left side, mid-range pull-up. Good. First points of the season for Brentwood go to Kaylee Blood. Here's Cassie Crouch with it. Brentwood showing a little token press in the half court over to Gracie Butler. She reverses. Delenti, extra feed, wide open South. Corner 3, got it. Sadie South with a Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 3. Ball movement for the Lady Bees gives them an 8-2 advantage here on the road. 2 25-plus game winners from a year ago going at it. Butler with another steal. Gracie pokes it free. Now here she comes ahead. Steps through, up strong, good. Gracie Butler in rhythm early. How about 7 in the opening 2.5 minutes for the senior number 22. Full court press has forced 4 turnovers so far. Here's Morris ahead. 3 doubleheaders across the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network tonight over on the main page. Smith County, Pickett County. Jacob Vincent on the action there as there's a missed lay-in for Brentwood. Now a cross-court feed ahead to Maggie Butler. What a pass! And Maggie puts it in for 2, and it's early timeout on the floor for John Wilkins. Gracie Butler threw it on a rope to her twin sister who finished inside, and the Lady Bees lead 12-2 with 5:06 to go here in the first quarter. As I was mentioning, Smith County, Pickett County, live on the main page over on UCR 3 tonight. Talk about a couple of big games in Class 4A. Oak Ridge and Cookeville as the Lady Cavs put one of the longest home winning streaks in the state on the line tonight. Big week for Cookeville. They get that game tonight, then get Bartlett, who eliminated them last year on their home floor on Friday night. Just getting things started here tonight, 12-2. Upperman out in front, and it's been the turnovers forced by the press. Mentioned the team speed in the open. That has shined through. Gracie Butler. Dana McWilliams said, you're going to see a different Gracie Butler. You've seen a great version of Gracie Butler here early on. 7 points, 3 steals, couple of boards. And T.T. Carson first off the bench. That will be the question. What does this rotation look like for the Lady Bees? They go with Carson, who nearly forces a turnover, but a nice touch pass keeps it in for Brentwood. Now Maggie Butler tips a steal, goes to Carson. Carson running the floor with a ton of speed. Carson inside, swiped out of play. It'll stay with the Lady Bees. A nice job in transition by Marin Brazel. Off the turnover, Upperman has forced 6 Brentwood turnovers through 3 minutes and 9 seconds of action. Inbound to Maggie Butler over the top. She goes to work, drives and kicks to South. Over to Carson. Wide open. Carson gives to Delenti. Now back Maggie Butler. Second three of the game for her. Won't go. Taylor Delenti right there. Kick. Take out the trash, though, as she misses the putback. Rebound to Brentwood. Here come the Lady Bruins ahead. Little stutter step. They're trying to just get established in the half-court offense. Have not attempted many shots. Only bucket a little mid-range runner. Here's Paige Moore. Still a lot of basketball to be played. These are two good teams going at it tonight. Here's Maggie Buckley with it. Working on Carson. Drives blocked. Maggie Butler with the swat. It's all Butler twins early on here in Brentwood. Here's Taylor Delenti running the floor. She kick over to South. Sadie South. Left side, Cassie Crouch. Gracie Butler got a quick breather. She's back at the table. Here's Maggie off a screen. She'll drive inside. Maggie Butler, right-hand lay, too strong. Rebound down. Upperman with a 10-point lead, and they've missed their fair share of easy bunnies so far. Here's Callie Whitfield with it. Callie Whitfield, rather. Whitfield sends it over for Paige Morris. 17 broadcasts across the network this week. We'll tell you about it as we move through. Basketball season underway, and we're ready for it. Here's Callie Whitfield. Sends it over right side for Maren Brazel. Brazel swings it back left side, Paige Morris. Morris down into the corner, Whitfield. She'll step back, triggers the three. No good, off back iron. Rebound punch. Maggie Butler runs it down. Maggie Butler playing really well. Now a cross-court feed somehow finds Delenti. What a feed. South to Delenti, and Taz gives the Lady Bees a 12-point advantage. Now in transition, T.T. Carson punches it out of play. Upperman looks sensational through 4.5 minutes here at Brentwood tonight. Gracie Butler back into the game. Maggie Butler gets a breather here. A couple of subs also in here for the Lady Bruins, who going to have to get it rolling here in short order, down 14-2. Left-hand drive inside. South got her money's worth on that one. That'll be 2 free throws upcoming for Maren Brazel. Went a couple of quick whistles early, and since then, pretty wide open both ways. That one undeniable. And they will say that wasn't a shooting foul. My apologies. Upperman out in front, 14-2 early on in this one. Inbounds pass sent over the top, going back into the backcourt to get it. It was Paige Morris. Morris with a head of steam, driving into South, bounces in the corner, and it's intercepted. Another steal. This time it's Delenti. And they'll say it was a double dribble. I guess when she went to gather, they counted that as a dribble. So Brentwood will get it back. They don't even realize it, but they do. And I'm starting to lose track of the turnovers. It's at least 7 steals for Upperman in the opening 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Inbound fired into the backcourt again. Here's Morris. Plenty of time for Brentwood, but they got to find some sort of rhythm. Here's Paige Morris now. Brings it right side, trying to orchestrate the half-court set. Swings it over to Voss. Voss now to Baldwin in for the first time. Swiped again. Delenti now dives on the floor and saves it back to Gracie Butler. Another steal. Butler drives ahead, sends back to Crouch. Crouch to Delenti. Passes up the three, drives in. Great feed to T.T. Carson, who puts it through. An absolute offensive display right now by the Upperman Lady Bees. Now getting around, out of bounds. Another turnover. Goes back the other way. Maggie Butler to the table. She's in for Sadie South. A 14-point Upperman lead here on the road against a 25-win team from a year ago. Here's Cassie Crouch working away from a double team. Fires a fastball over to Carson. She'll drive, kicks back to Maggie Butler. Now back out Crouch. Touch pass into Gracie. She drives. Left-hand leg good. Gracie Butler with a ferocious start. 9 points for the senior. It's 18-2 Upperman. Here's Paige Morris trying to work past Crouch. Carson from behind. Crouch says, I'll take that. Here's Cassie Crouch weaving through traffic. We said she looked great in summer and preseason. She's looked great so far running the point. Kick back Taylor Delenti. Delenti off a screen. Backdoor cut for Crouch. Puts it up. Contact. Counted in the foul. Cassie Crouch to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. And it is all Lady Bees in Williamson County. Crouch's free throw at the Sonia Brown of the American Way Real Estate free throw line is good. Abby Stone next off the bench here. They're going to get T.T. Carson out. Stone, a junior forward, off the bench. Upperman with a 19-point advantage 21-2. Lady Bees get a huge one on Thursday. A top 5 matchup in the UC. Van Buren County comes to town. Runners up at a Class 1A a year ago. Full court press time again for Upperman. A nice job breaking it for the Lady Bruins. Ahead into the half court comes Buckley. She'll fire it over to Paige Morris. Morris off a screen triggers the 3. This would help. And it gets the friendly roll on the home rims. Paige Morris hit the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and then in. Quickly ahead, though, here's Gracie Butler. She's hacked. Count it. Gracie Butler with 2 more. Double digits in the first quarter for her. 11 early on for Gracie. Now an errant pass. Here comes the double team. Trying to work through it past right side. That clock, 8-second clock is ticking. 10-second clock. Been doing a lot of college. I'll get it right. Over right side. Nice shot fake drive inside. Good. Counted in the foul. Great take for Marin Brazel as she gets through, and Brentwood finally starting to find something offensively. It's 23-5. And they're going to get Abby Stone for her first. Gracie Butler gets a breather here. And an opportunity for Marin Brazel to try to complete a 3-point play. Free throw is good. For Brazel, that was a really nice take. Got the defender off the ground, drives inside, finishes through contact. It's all Upperman right now, though. Here's a steal for Brentwood, and then a foul as Crouch tried to get it back and swiped across the arm. First personal on Cassie Crouch. 5th team foul, so free throws upcoming here. Callie Whitfield as Brentwood goes into the bonus with 54 seconds to go. There's a discrepancy. Our scoreboard is correct, but in the gym it says 26-5. If they don't fix it for a while, we'll correct, but that's why you may see a jump at some point. It's definitely right. I'm keeping track of the scoring here. As Whitfield makes the second. Now Crouch trying to break the press. A little tic-tac-toe passing. Here's Taylor Delenti. Sadie South's open. Will pass up the look. Upperman may look to hold here for the final shot. Crouch sends left side Butler. All Lady Bees here on the road early on. Now physical play. Now the teams trade turnovers. Dana McWilliams says 1. She wants the final shot here. A quick back and forth steals for both teams. Crouch puts it on the hardwood. She'll drive inside. Now spins back away. Aggressive defense here, Stone. Stone going to drive inside. Now wiggles it back out. Again, trying to hold for the final shot under 20 seconds. Here's Maggie Butler gives off to Cassie Crouch. Stepping out to guard is Foss. 10 seconds now for Crouch. Crouch tip pass over to Stone. Now left side Maggie Butler. 6 seconds. Delenti off a couple of screens. Got free. 4-3. No. Rebound down. Stone grabs it, throws it up, and gets the call. Abby Stone getting some extended run here, and she'll go to the line with zeros on the clock to shoot 2. They'll add a couple of tenths of a second at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. So they will have to put a couple of ticks back on the clock here. Can't be zeros with the foul. And we do have a different score than what is in the gym, so we'll see if they correct it as Stone hits the first free throw. What is, without a doubt, the case is a big lead for the Lady Bees. Stone misses the second, rebound down, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. All Upperman after 1 here in Brentwood. You're watching Upperman basketball presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Tee-Up is the Upper Cumberland's best indoor golfing experience. With 3 state-of-the-art golf simulators, you can work on some of the world's best courses, all in the comfort of their climate-controlled facility. Want to know where you can improve? See everything from club speed to spin rate in seconds. They also have plenty of other games to enjoy time with friends. Conveniently located at 141 4th Street in Baxter. Stop in. Visit them online at teupgolfclub.com or call them at 931-559-GOLF to reserve your simulator today. Tee-Up is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Livingston Regional Hospital is Livingston's hometown hospital. Located at 315 Oak Street, Livingston Regional Hospital provides compassionate quality care for all patients from local people you can trust so you can count on them to treat you like family. Their excellent staff offers years of experience and training to meet the needs of all patients. They understand the importance of providing care in a professional and comforting manner. They're proud to partner with Livingston Academy Athletics through the LRH Sports Medicine team. Livingston Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
A ferocious start for the Lady Bees here to open the campaign. They lead Brentwood 24-9. A good job by Brentwood to battle back because there was just nothing going right for them. But it's Gracie Butler's 11 first quarter points pacing the way as the Lady Bees have a big lead here on the road. But Brentwood very explosive, and now they'll go to work in the half court. It was the turnovers that really just prevented them from getting anything rolling. Now a deep three on its way. That's an air ball, and they will say it was saved in. And now a swipe and a foul will be called. That one, Dana McWilliams not going to be happy with it. Certainly appeared like she stepped on the baseline and jumped up. If not, she has about the longest wingspan I've ever seen a girl have. As Maggie Butler picks up her first, team's first, and 2 free throws coming here for Bella Foss. I mean, looked blatant that it was out of bounds, and the official says that he didn't see it, as Dana McWilliams wants an answer, and I don't know how he didn't. First free throw is good here for Foss. Live on YouTube and UCR2 tonight. Happy to be along with you. Foss's next one. Brentwood's done a very nice job after just taking a haymaker early. They have settled in, and it's because they've gotten into their press as well. Talenti got to throw it somewhere. Now fires it to Gracie Butler. Butler puts her dribble down into the corner, trapped. She spins it back over to Talenti. Ahead to Crouch. Now Maggie with it. Maggie Butler weaving through traffic. Back to Talenti. Touch pass over to Crouch. 30 seconds into the second quarter. Upperman's lead is 13. Now Crouch spins it back to Gracie Butler. It's tipped. She gathers. Butler in rhythm early. Spins away from the defender. Kicks back to her sister Maggie. Is this the one? It is. Maggie Butler with a Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 3. Now 1 from 3 from long range, and Upperman's lead is back to 16. Now a nice crossover. Here's the speed for Brazel. Kicks into the corner. 3 ball on the way. That one connects home. Quick answer. Bella Foss with 5 points in the second quarter for Brentwood. And now Crouch spins a couple of times. A whistle, and they will call it simultaneous possession. The arrow belongs to Upperman. Haynes Bailey checking in here for Brentwood. Kaylee Blood checks out. The press really creating some problems. Brentwood's big advantage. We mentioned the speed for Upperman. For Brentwood, it's the length. Here's Gracie Butler with the speed. Punches it across to Maggie. Maggie back to Crouch. Crouch into the corner, Maggie. Talenti was open for a moment. Crouch looked left instead of right. Here's Crouch. She'll send it back to Gracie Butler. Butler sees a lane, drives inside. Great screen from Cassie Crouch to free up Gracie Butler, who has 13. 15-point Lady B advantage here on the road in the season opener. Brazel has it. Brazel bounces it over right side. Quick trigger 3 ball on the way. That one's no good. Rebound ricochets. It's still loose. Talenti has it for a moment. She's trapped. Touches it ahead to Crouch. South running the floor. Crouch find her. Now it's a foot race. Sadie South wins it and puts it in for 2. Pass right side. Now a baseline drive, a lot of contact. Yeah, the foul is called. Gracie Butler going to pick up the personal. Wondered if they would get it. It was a little bit of a delayed whistle, but they get Gracie Butler on her second. Bella Foss back to the line where she just made 2. And we'll go back there to shoot 2 more. Bella Foss to the line. First one no good off front iron.
Carson rejoins for Upperman. Back in for the Bruins, number 12, Maggie Butler. Foss
Foss makes the second. Apologies, we're working on the Cookville Oak Ridge game, as here is Sadie South. Punches it over to Carson. Carson activates, now hands off to South. 16-point game. Left side, Maggie Butler. Maggie back to Gracie. Gracie with a crossover, taps back to T.T. Carson. Carson was first off the bench tonight. Now a reach in and a nice touch for Callie Whitfield to knock it away from Carson, but it goes out of play, and possession stays with the Lady Bees. Carson on the inbound will go to work here. Picks up her dribble. See the length advantage. When it's been a slower pace, that's when Brentwood's had their chances so far. Faster paced, Upperman has feasted. Here's Maggie. She'll send back to Delenti. The senior Delenti, 4-year starter. Her and Gracie Butler. Sadie South, 3-year starter. Carson puts it down at the last possible second. A swipe and a foul. They've allowed it to be pretty aggressive defensively, just the second team foul against Brentwood, but got away with one kind of swipe. The second one, they'll call the personal for it. Cookville leads Oak Ridge 16-12 as Carson has the inbound. Again, Whitfield tries to get the steal. The Red Sea parts for Carson. Drive is blocked away from her. A ferocious swat for Brentwood. It's Maggie Buckley with the block and the board. Here they come, trailing by 16 as we near the middle of the second quarter. Pass over left side, open three ball on the way. No good. Rebound down, Gracie Butler. 2-on-1 for the Lady Bees. Butler, like a freight train, steps through. Good and one. Gracie Butler with a fantastic opening half, 15 for her, and she'll go back to the line to try to complete her second and one of the contest. Oh, wow, he called that on the floor. Wow, never mind. Take the two off the board. Wow. They did not call that an and one, and I do not know how that's possible. Inbound to Gracie Butler's tipped and stolen away by Buckley. Huge break for Brentwood. Buckley weaving around traffic. That's an interesting call. Now they send it over left side. Kick back. Extra feet into the corner. Now looking into the low block. Trying to work on Butler. Tip pass back out. Another driving kick into the corner. Three ball on the way. Sidearm slot. Cash is through. Callie Whitfield for three, and Brentwood's within 13. Here's Cassie Crouch with a ton of speed, and then it's poked out of play. It stays with Upperman. Paige Morris checks back in.
Back in for the Lady Bruins, number 22, Paige Morris.
Smith County leads Pickett County 16-7 over in Carthage tonight. Cassie Crouch goes to work with a right-hand dribble. She'll give off to Gracie Butler. Butler picks up, needs an outlet. Looking for somebody. She'll tap it over, and Dana McWilliams wants timeout as things have gone stagnant for the Upperman offense after a ferocious start. 31-18 the score, 32nd timeout on the floor. We'll be right back.
At the Quality Family, we believe care isn't just a service, it's a promise.
Whether you're bouncing back from surgery, navigating a serious illness, or need essential equipment to stay independent,
we provide skilled home health, compassionate hospice, and reliable DME services right where you need them most. At home.
Covering communities in Kentucky and Tennessee, we're in your corner.
The Quality Family. Trusted care right where life happens.
Welcome back. 3:50 to go here in the second quarter. Upperman leads Brentwood 31-18. Big sequence. Upperman looked like they had an and one for Gracie Butler. It got wiped off the board. And then right back down the floor, Brentwood came, hit a three, a 16-point swing as Cassie Crouch goes to work offensively out of the timeout called by Dana McWilliams. Starting five back out there on the floor for Upperman. Gracie Butler, a little give and go, drive, swiped, and a foul. They'll get Whitfield for her second as she came down on the arm of Gracie Butler, who has been sensational so far. 13 points in the first half for her. Valenti to inbound from the baseline here as Foss checks back in. She had a great start to this quarter. Valenti surveys, now throws it over the top to Sadie South. Punches it left side, Maggie Butler. Maggie gives off to Gracie. Gracie with room to operate, punched away from her. Nice steal, active hands for Baldwin. Here comes Brentwood the other way. It was all Upperman with the turnovers forced in the first quarter. Now it's Brentwood. Little shot fake, now a turn and a drive. Shot thrown up, good, counted in a foul. They get Maggie Butler for her second. And right now it's Bella Foss getting it done for Brentwood. That's 5, 7, 8 points in the quarter, and she can make it 9. And the Lady Bruins are back within 11. Foss's free throw is good. She has come out of nowhere here in the second quarter, scoreless in the first, not so fast here in the second. Upperman's lead down to 10. Told you Brentwood had plenty of time. They're explosive. Butler drives and is fouled. Hit on the arm on her way up, and it will be Gracie Butler to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line to shoot 2. First one rattles home for Gracie. Checking back in is Callie Whitfield here for Brentwood. Upperman back in front by 11. Gracie Butler in her senior season trying to hit another level. Looks like it early on. That one rattles through. How about 15 and a half for her? Upperman trying to get their press established again. Here's Buckley. She's trapped. Butler gets 2 hands on it. That'll be they grant a timeout to Brentwood instead of a jump ball, so a timeout given to Coach Wilkins. A little frustration for the Upperman faithful, but a timeout called on the floor will be a full one, so we'll take it with them here in the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Watson Chevrolet is proud to present the area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Watson Chevy's staff of experts are ready to get you into your next vehicle with unmatched service and knowledge. Stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway and get your vehicle serviced by their highly trained professionals. Right now, you can save money on oil changes, regular maintenance, and battery installation. And remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Watson Chevy is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the UCR Media Network. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this 3-bed, 2-bathroom home in the desirable Poplar Point subdivision in Rickman. This home sits on just under an acre with a 2-car garage and over 1,500 square feet of living space. It's the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. For more information, visit chadandamycrouch.com or call 931-979-1191. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. Upperman leads Brentwood 21-33 here in the second quarter. Out of the timeout call by Brentwood, it's Lady Bruins basketball. Little crossover, kicking into the corner. That's the offense for Brentwood, and another 3 splashes home. Paige Morris with her second 3 of the contest. Brentwood cuts it to single digits. Crouch gives over to Butler. Butler going to drive the lane here. Butler back to Carson. Carson goes baseline, now just hands off to Gracie Butler, left alone. A lot of contact, no call. Here comes Buckley ahead. 9-point game. Buckley gives back. Quick trigger 3 again for Morris. An air ball out of play, and possession goes back to the Lady Bees. Inbounds needs to come in to Crouch here for the Lady Bees. 9-point game after the errant shot. Crouch picks up her dribble. Spins a couple of times, now flips it ahead to Sadie South. South goes back to Crouch. Crouch, right side now for Butler. Butler is fouled. They're trying desperately to force some turnovers. Now they get Bella Foss for the personal. It's going to be the 4th team foul, maybe the 5th. It's the 5th. 2 free throws coming here for Gracie Butler.
15 foul, quarter, 2:06 remaining.
First one for Butler is good as Gracie Butler connects. The scoreboard may be a little bit off. We're on the phone with the producer over in Cookeville getting that situated. So Madison does it all, and she's doing that now. We'll make sure that they are live, share that, and then come back here. The scoreboard will be a little bit delayed. Butler rattles home both of them. A great start here for Gracie Butler to the season. Inbounds here for Brentwood as they'll look to bring it up. Weaving through the press, they've broken it much nicer, and now no help side defense leads to an easy lay-in for Bella Foss. She's had a tremendous second quarter, keeping Brentwood in the game. Turnovers here for the Lady Bees mounting up. Brentwood within 9 and the basketball. Paige Morris has it. Morris navigating her way around. Now she'll hand off. Underhand pass to Brazel. Now here's Foss. Foss goes back to Morris. Over to Foss. Trying to post up on Stone. Big height advantage. Stone with great defense. Turnaround shot, no, but an offensive rebound and a foul. They'll get Cassie Crouch saying she hacked the arm. Upperman not happy right now, and there is a huge discrepancy. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 4. The foul count in this game. Make it 9 to 5, I should say. Second quarter score update. York leads Jackson County 21 to 6. Goose is there tonight. Coverage coming to UpperCumberlandReporter.com from Jamestown. A lot of Lady Bees with 2 fouls. They got to be careful. Playing this high-pressure defense. Trying to turn on South in the low block is Foss. Throws it up, no good. Rebound. South was boxing out, but nobody cleaned it up. Second chance, now wide alone. A lot of breakdowns for the Lady Bees right now. They're surviving with the lead because of the fast start. It'll be a foul, and Abby Stone will go to the line to shoot 2. Exactly 1 minute to play here in the first half. During the Happy Hiller halftime show, we'll be joined by Bobby McWilliams. Get his thoughts on his team's season opener. Stick around for that. Stone at the line, going to shoot 2. First one, no good for Stone. Upperman after a ferocious start. We talked about how good Brentwood was. They were going to answer. They certainly have. Lady Bees lead cut to 9 as Carson checks in here for Crouch. Next one for Stone. Gets a friendly roll. We've seen that on both ends. Some roll all the way around and go through. Stone with 2 points from the line in the contest. It's a 10-point Lady Bee lead. 1 minute to play here in the second quarter. Here's a kick-out pass right side. 3-ball up and good. Summer Brazel from long range, and it's the 3-ball that's come alive for Brentwood. 4 of them in the quarter as Carson surveys the floor. She'll send it over to Taylor Delenti. Delenti back to Carson. Carson floats back. Upperman trying to kill for the final shot. Led by as many as 16. It's down to 7 now. Delenti floats back. Delenti picks up her dribble. Gives to Carson. 10 seconds on the clock here. Carson to Stone. Swiped away from her. She'll flip it to Butler. Gracie Butler puts her head down, puts it up. No. Rebound ricochets. Carson has it. She throws it up. Can't go, but a foul is called. T.T. Carson will go to the line to shoot 2 with 2.7 seconds to go. First one for Carson is good. 37-29 our score. Now a rebound for South. She puts it up at the buzzer. No. And that brings us to the end of the first half. Upperman with a lead here on the road at Brentwood. 37-29. We'll be back with the Happy Hiller halftime show on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this 3-bed, 2-bathroom home in the desirable Poplar Point subdivision in Rickman. This home sits on just under an acre with a 2-car garage and over 1,500 square feet of living space. It's the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. For more information, visit chadandamycrouch.com or call 931-979-1191. The Crouch Team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Legacy House is right here in the heart of Smithville. It's more than a boutique, it's a family story woven into every thread. I'm Amy Allen, and I started this place with my 3 beautiful daughters. We offer timeless pieces that feel both classic and bold. From rich textured clothing to one-of-a-kind accessories. This shop has a perfect mix of heritage with a modern edge. So come on down, you'll find more than just fashion. You'll find a place where legacy and style meet.
Located at 104 West Walnut Street in Smithville, stop by and see their selection Tuesday through Saturday. Legacy House is proud to be an all-inclusive sponsor of UCR.
Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They are also proud to sponsor Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing's Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Be sure to stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Are you looking for the best dining experience in the Upper Cumberland? Visit Fire and Vine in Cookeville's historic West Side. Fire and Vine offers great service and a unique menu, including mouth-watering deep dish pizza, delectable beef, chicken, fish, and more. Take in stunning views from the rooftop while enjoying your meal. Come and experience the charm and flavor of Fire and Vine, your new favorite spot for a memorable dining experience. Fire and Vine is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Looking for weekend lunch and dinner plans? Since 1971, Nick's Restaurant has been locally owned and operated. From mouth-watering prime rib to delectable ice cream pie, Nick's has it all. Their cozy atmosphere and great service will make you feel right at home. Plus, their banquet space is perfect for any event. Visit them at 895 South Jefferson Avenue or online at nickscookville.com. Nick's Restaurant is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. It's time for the Happy Hiller halftime show. At the break, Upperman leads Brentwood 37-29 in the first half of our doubleheader. It's because we have a second half. The reigning Class 3A state champion Upperman Bees take the floor for the first time this season. We're joined by Upperman head coach Bobby McWilliams. Throughout this year during our halftime chats, we'll talk to coach, we'll talk to players also throughout this year. We're excited about that. But today, we get the head man alone. Coach, regular season is here. How are you feeling?
Well, you never know this first game, but for us, to be honest with you, I told the assistant coaches on the way down here today, I said, I feel like we're about 50% of where we need to be to play a game. We don't have a lot of stuff in. We're trying to fit new personnel in. We just got our football kids back, for a day's practice. It is what it is. I know, I'm not going to cry about it, but it's just really early. You get a couple weeks of practice and, throwing in the games, it's just probably really not enough time, but it is what it is. We're looking forward to the opportunity we got coming up. We got 6 games in 9 days. It's probably may not be good scheduling on my part, but I just felt like with what we had coming back when I built the schedule, I felt like we needed to be challenged early, just trying to get ourselves in a situation where we've seen a lot of good competition, a lot of good players and good coaches, and we've done that, but we, had a wrinkle thrown in there a little bit. We've got a couple kids that we expected back are not with us right now, so and won't be with us, but we'll definitely miss them. Graduated 2 seniors who we really miss right now, but I like our kids. I like our young guys. I like the players that are stepping up. We had 3 scrimmages, and I felt like we got better every scrimmage. I feel like we're getting better in practice every day. It's just it's going to be it's a marathon from here. It's not going to be a sprint for us. We're just trying to get 1% better every day. If we can do that, then by the end of the year we'll be a good team and see how far that can carry us in tournament time.
You mentioned the pieces in and out, and obviously you get the football guys in for a practice. No Bronsden Chaffin, but you get Colton Johnson in, you get Carmine Phillips, which is a familiar name to people, maybe not in basketball. With all those moving parts tonight, what does it look like for you guys when it comes to the rotations, to the minutes, and things like that?
Well, I think we're gonna probably stay with what we've done to this point, what we're comfortable with the exception of being Colton. We went through some things yesterday, and even though Colton hadn't really done anything with basketball per se, but hadn't been in the gym any, his awareness, his experience. But him catching up to the things we were running, because we hadn't put a lot of new stuff in yet, and he kind of picked up pretty quick, and smart kid, and so that's very helpful. Obviously, his conditioning and stamina is not going to be what it needs to be right now. I've told you years past, and people can believe it if they want to, but it takes them about a month. But of consistent play and practice before they get back to where they are, but still. Whatever he is right now he was very effective yesterday, to my surprise, as far as what he was able to do, and but he's going to play tonight, and we'll just have to kind of keep an eye on his minutes, and I just put one of the coaches on that just to make sure we're watching him. I don't want him to get fatigued at all, so we'll play him in short spurts and short minutes, but looking forward to kind of getting this thing going and getting these young guys some experience. Really looking forward to seeing what Joseph Maynard and Finn Sism and Lofton Crouch, Ryland Case. Some of those kids have not had as much experience as the older guys for sure, but seeing what they can get done and getting them into a real live play environment. There's no replacing that. So should be good for us. Brentwood's really, really good. They're going to be one of the top 5-10 teams in the state easily in 4A, and got a lot of kids back. We're probably really not ready for that, but we're excited about the challenge for sure.
You've lived the life of the hunted within your district and kind of the region for the past several years. Now you've got on the side of your chest state champions. That carries some weight when you enter a gym. You're going to get team's best shot. What's it going to take for you guys as a team, knowing that hey, random evening in November, they're going to be up and ready to play you?
Absolutely. We've talked about that. I think on their local coaches show here that they did, and they kind of done the Wilson County media day. They were talking to some of these coaches, and they talked to the Brentwood kids, and they asked them which game they were looking forward to, and this was one of them. They asked Independence kids which ones they were looking forward to, and one of the first things that came out was Upperman. So it's very it brings a lot of pride to our kids, and that people respect our program that well and that way across the state. But we're right now, I can promise you we're not the same Upperman that we were at the end of the year, and we're not the same Upperman today we'll be at the end of the year this year. But that's where our program's at, and I guess it's long story short, it's better to be on the other end.
Ty Cobb playing tonight, Coach?
Ty Cobb is going to dress up. We'll see if we can get him a few minutes in.
Is he going to start?
Probably.
Okay,
probably.
full decision.
Game time decision. But we're looking forward to it. We're going to start the same way we've been starting. We're not going to change any of that, and see how Colton fits in there. But it allows us to move some pieces around. Joe can move on the perimeter where he's more natural, I think, and big size at that. So. We're back to being, young and inexperienced, with the exception of Jack, Ty, and Colton, and what little bit Collier got last year. But we're expecting big things out of those guys, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, we'll be here the entire way. Appreciate it, and we'll have many more of these. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Back here now, Cookeville Oak Ridge is live on UCR4. I'm going to get a head nod yes from Madison. It is. And then Pickett County, Smith County, they were at halftime, so a natural break point. They'll be back live here momentarily on the main page. Meanwhile, here, tale of two quarters, Upperman led by 15 after one. Their lead down to 8 now, as it's 29-37. Brentwood with the basketball, working left to right as we get back to it. Upperman 24 points in the first quarter, 13 in the second. Brentwood came to life from long range in that second quarter. Little shoulder check, turnaround shot, good. Maggie Buckley with a really nice play, and Brentwood within 6. Now an errant pass. Can it be kept in? Yes. Then there's a tie-up. No jump. And instead they call a foul. Gracie Butler will be picked up for her third. And certainly not the start the Lady Bees wanted out of the locker room, as their lead has been cut to just 6. And the basketball remains with Brentwood. Dribble down here. Gracie Butler playing with 3 fouls. Going to have to be very careful. She's been by far the most effective Lady Bee. Buckley sends into the low block, trying to get the height of Blood. Blood sends back. Now they'll work it around. Maggie Butler give it up about 6 inches in height. Defending there. Kick out pass. Quick trigger 3. Good. Brentwood is on fire. Callie Whitfield from downtown, and a 16-point Lady Bee lead has been cut to 3. They got to get back and running. That's when they were at their most effective. Speaking of, Maggie Butler over to Sadie South, but it's low. Not in the slot for a shot. Here's Cassie Crouch, sophomore point guard. Lady Bees forced over 10 turnovers in the first quarter. Brentwood much better with the basketball in the second. Here's Crouch, gives to Maggie Butler. Thought about it, puts it on the hardwood. Now back to Gracie. She'll drive inside. Gracie contorts, too strong, no good. Opportunity for Brentwood to get within 1 or tie. Ahead they come. Now here's Buckley, 37-34. We figured this would be a great game. It was a blowout for a minute. Brentwood has answered back in a major way with the 3 ball and protecting the basketball. Here's Morris. Morris gives to Foss. I'm getting used to games with a shot clock. Certainly not one in high school basketball in this state. Here's Morris. Now Buckley flips it back across to Morris, trying to set her up. Now it's denied, so she'll give it back to Buckley. Buckley to Morris. Morris working on Crouch with a crossover. Looks to back her down. Morris kicks back Buckley. Long 3. On the way. No good, wide right, and it'll go out of play and back to the Lady Bees. 5:49 to go here in the third quarter. It's 37-34. And live on the main page, Cookville's on 4. On the main page is Pickett County, Smith County. Here's Delenti, gives back Gracie Butler. Now Maggie triggers the 3. On its way, no good. Short-armed it. Rebound down. Empty possession and frustration on the sideline for the Lady Bees. Morris with numbers. Sends it across. Baseline underneath. Shot no. Fight for the rebound, and Maggie Butler wins the fight. Maggie eyes up the whole way. She's a forward but can certainly dribble. Tips back South. Wide open. Sadie South popped out. No good. Upperman will take that look every time. A near steal for Delenti, but a nice job by Foss to keep it. Foss jump-started the run for Brentwood in the second quarter. She gives back in rhythm. 4-3. Good. Nearly hit the ceiling. Maggie Buckley splashes it through, and we got a brand new basketball game as Dana McWilliams wants to talk about things. Full timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. Tied up at 37 here in Williamson County.
Let the bidding begin. It's time for the show, and you know it's gonna go high. There's a buzz in the air, and people come from everywhere to hear the auctioneer cry. The sound of the gavel never gets old when you hear DJ say so. Live or online, we handle auctions of any kind.
Call Aminette's Eagle Auction at 526-5335, where we soar higher.
Gentry's Power Equipment is your hometown steel dealer located on 700 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville. They are the presenting sponsor of Upperman Athletics all season long here at UCR. Lady Bees led by 15 at the end of the first quarter. They forced a ton of steals with their press. Brentwood made some great adjustments, and now they've come alive from long range. 2 threes in the third quarter alone. They had 4 in the second, and we're tied up at 37. quick down-court pass here to Maggie Butler. Now she finds Taylor Delenti. Delenti barely avoids a shot or a backcourt violation. Upperman possesses. They've had a long time scoreless. Now here's Maggie Butler. Gives to Gracie. Room to operate for Gracie. She'll kick out to Delenti. Delenti drives. Hands off to Butler. What a set play by Dana McWilliams. Maggie Butler puts it in. That is teach tape for how you run an offense. Upperman regains a narrow lead. Nearly a turnover forced. Upperman in a bit of foul trouble. They're going to have to be careful as they try to force these steals. But it's a catch-22 because that's when they're at their most effective. Speaking of, Gracie Butler with a steal. Contact and a foul. Just a little reach for Baldwin as she tried to get it back after the stolen pass for Butler. Gracie also sold it a little bit, if we're being honest. Got the call, but it will allow Brentwood to set up the press. It's Baldwin's first foul, so honestly, not the worst thing in the world, but a great feed ahead to Maggie Butler. Now over to Gracie. Gracie drives in and is fouled. Hits the hardwood aggressively. Baldwin picks up another personal, and Gracie Butler will go to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line to shoot two.
Foul 10 to number 33, Stella Story, her fourth, team second.
First one is good. First one for Gracie is good. 18 points for her. And out of the timeout by one of the greatest of all time, Dana McWilliams, 3-time state champ, 4-time state runner-up, countless other state tournament appearances. She has settled things down, at least for now. 2 for 2 for Gracie Butler. Here comes the press. Crouch there, south there, trapped. Whistle, timeout. John Wilkins forced to burn one to get out of that trap in the corner. So a timeout called on the floor here by Brentwood with 4:14 to go. Coming up tomorrow night's the UCR football and basketball show. Jacob Vincent and myself live from Fire and Vine. We'll preview the upcoming week, including the 2 playoff games. South Pittsburgh hosting Clay County, and in the high school football game of the week, Marion County against Gordonsville. That's on Friday. Thursday night, it's banner night for the Bees as they will go home to face Upper Cumberland opponent Van Buren County in a doubleheader. Girls game at 6, boys game to follow, banner ceremony in between. We'll be there with all the action. And Saturday, high school hoops across the Upper Cumberland and a huge one on 106.1 The Eagle as Tennessee Tech welcomes in UT Martin. 17 broadcasts this week on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. Out of the timeout, here's Brentwood now trailing by 4. It's been a seesaw affair. Nice pass fake, and now ahead it goes as they break the press at the last possible second. Now a drive inside Buckley. Goes over Butler, no good. And now Gracie Butler hit hard in a foul. Think they're going to get Foss for this. They will. That's her second personal foul. Third team foul against the Lady Bruins. 3:59 to go here in the quarter. Upperman's lead is 4 with the basketball. They found something with these deep passes on the inbounds and another foul. Foss reaches in on Gracie Butler again. Deja vu. That'll be her third, team's fourth. Next one sends the Lady Bees to the line. Cookville rolling past Oak Ridge, 49-22. They're live again on UCR 4. Facebook wasn't behaving, but we got it up. Apologies for the delay there. Great boys game coming up there with the great Cantrell on the call. Taylor Delenti, corner 3. Yes, sir. Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate 3 for Taylor Delenti. That's her first points tonight, and Upperman leads by 7. Never thought you'd say that. The 1,000-point scorer adds 3 more. Now again, press time. Dangerous pass, and yeah, Maggie Butler leaped up and made contact. It was a really good job by Baldwin, who had position. So now both Butlers have 3 fouls apiece, and that will send T.T. Carson to the table. And she's checking in for Maggie Butler here. And actually, my apologies, that's Maggie's 4th foul, so a big one there. She'll be forced out for a while, and she's the post presence. Gracie will have to become that, and she also has 3 fouls. Exactly what Brentwood needs as they trail by 7. Left side, Buckley. Only problem is their best offense is the 3-ball. Baldwin, tip pass out, now sends it baseline. That's a 2 on its way, no good. Carson with a rebound. Carson tries to get out and running, and another foul. And this is a big one. It's the fourth on Bella Foss, and she's picked up 3 here in the quarter. And it's also the bonus. So T.T. Carson will go to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line where she will shoot a couple. Luke Butler, who's Gracie's brother, said, I wouldn't foul 22. She's pretty mean. But those are some interesting fights. As Carson's first free throw is good. T.T. Carson's been good tonight. Off the bench, she's got 4 points. She's handled the basketball well, forced some turnovers, and Upperman all of a sudden is on an 8-0 run after the game was tied at 37. Next one for Carson. Pops out, no. Rebounded by Baldwin. Baldwin punches it ahead. Brentwood trying to get running before the press can establish. Here's Buckley in the half court. Students starting to pile in. We expect a wild environment for the men's game. Unfortunately, when we come to Middle Tennessee, the girls' games don't typically have big audiences. The men's games, or boys' games rather, do, especially when the state champs are in the house against a preseason top 5 4A team. It's going to be a great contest between the Bees and Brentwood. It's a tough challenge for Upperman, who's a little bit out of sorts when it comes to having their complete team together. Long 3 on its way. Good. Great form. Paige Morris has her 3rd triple of the game. A 5-point gap. Now Carson in the half court. Weaves through traffic. Punches it out for South. Back to Crouch. Over to Gracie Butler. 1-on-1. Gracie Butler likes the matchup. Turns inside. Left-hand leg. Got the roll. Gracie Butler. 21 with 2:13 to go in the third. She looks great in her season opener. Under control. Driving inside, finishing off the glass. Now a kick out. She just hit one. Now she's hit another. Speaking of looking great, Paige Morris. That is a quick trigger 3. As Carson running out of time will get it into Crouch. And a timeout called here by Dana McWilliams. 30-second timeout on the floor. And we talked earlier, the agenda offensively for Brentwood, driving in, getting the quick kicks out. That is basketball 101. They've made a really nice adjustment of adding an extra pass. They'll drive, kick it somewhere else, and then a touch pass out behind the arc. It's drawing that defense for the Lady Bees off its mark a little bit, and then they've hit the threes over and over and over again. 47-43. It's 4 threes in the quarter. They had 4 threes in the second and 1 in the first. So 9 in total tonight for Brentwood. It's the ultimate equalizer, and it's why they're in the game at 47-43. Pickett County trailed by 11 at the half. It's now tied at the end of the third quarter. Brittany Cooper's debut as head coach for the Lady Bobcats. We'll have every Pickett County game this season exclusive here at UCR. Taylor Delente got to inbound somewhere. She finds Sadie South ahead. Now numbers. South off the mark for Carson, who has to slow down to grab it. Now she'll kick out South. Over to Crouch. Crouch skips it over to Gracie Butler. Lines up the 3 and hits. Gracie Butler, have yourself a season debut. She splashes home the 3, and it's 24 for number 22. Lady Bees lead by 7 because Brentwood have an answer from long range. Buckley tries to drive on Carson. Good defense, nothing doing. Carson tips the rebound. Guess who's got it? It's a freight train named Gracie Butler. 2-on-1. Butler flips it across to Delente off the glass for 2. Senior to senior, 4-year starter to 4-year starter. Upperman's lead is 9. Here's Morris. Tries to drive on Delente. Little frustration for Paige Morris as she flips it back for Buckley. Brentwood has had to put together a big comeback. They're playing well, but down 9. Do they have another answer in them? Morris, she's getting NAIA offers. Really good player. The guard calls for a screen. 43 seconds to go. Pivotal final minute here in the quarter. Morris tries to work past Delente, who's tripped up by her teammate. Now they kick out to Buckley. Inside, big mismatch. She'll kick out instead to Morris. From way downtown, she got it. Paige Morris from a mile away, back to a 6-point game. That is a great play. Carson fires it ahead to Delente. Those long passes working for the Lady Bees, who want the final shot. Over to Gracie Butler. 15 seconds for T.T. Carson. Now here's Cassie Crouch. 6-point game. Crouch punches it ahead to Butler. 6 seconds for Carson. Delente off a screen. Wide open. No. Carson with a rebound, and the buzzer sounds before she can put it up. Get your popcorn ready, ladies and gentlemen. After 3, it's Upperman 52, Brentwood 46. This is Upperman basketball, presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Turfmasters Landscape Management has been serving the Upper Cumberland since 1996. They offer a variety of services, including lawn maintenance, landscape design and installation, landscape lighting, irrigation systems, and more. For more information, contact Matt Wilson at 931-261-1587 today. Turfmasters Landscape Management is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. The Real Estate Collective is a team of experienced, licensed real estate agents serving the entire Upper Cumberland region. Whether you are looking to buy or sell, the RICO team is ready to serve you. With a focus on people over profits, you can rest assured the Real Estate Collective can help make your real estate dreams a reality. Call 931-559-9500 for more information or see their current listings at letsgorico.com. The Real Estate Collective is proud to support student athletes in our area and this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
We figured this could be a great season opener, and it has been just that so far. It's the Lady Bees with a 52-46 lead. They led by as many as 16. Brentwood tied it. Upperman then stretched it back. Brentwood's three-pointers have been the difference for them. It's been Gracie Butler for Upperman. How about 24 for her? She has the basketball here. Maggie Butler in, playing with 4 fouls. The fouls will be something to watch here. I'm Noah McKay. The lovely Madison McKay is wearing a lot of hats right now, trying to get everything rolling, but we have it rolling. As here's a touch pass to Cassie Crouch. With that 5-second clock ticking, Crouch goes to work, punches it over to Delenti. Delenti underhand flips to Butler, drives inside again. Finger roll, no. Maggie with the rebound. Out to a wide open Sadie South. You bet. Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate 3 for Sadie South. The junior with 8 points, and Upperman's back in front by 9, trying to separate here on the road. They're going to stay in the man-to-man. Have not seen much of the patented Dana McWilliams 2-3 in this game. They like to test early in the year with that man-to-man. Against a longer team, they've done a pretty good job, but despite the unbelievable three-point shooting for the Lady Bruins. Now a drive trying to get past Crouch. Great defense, nothing doing. Maggie Butler with a rebound. Now Delenti. Works around, now finds a wide open Cassie Crouch with speed. Over to South, corner 3, on its way, no. Rebound down, Delenti wins it. Puts it back up, a block. Tons of height from behind for Callie Whitfield. Pardon me, make that blood. And now in rhythm, Morris again. She's unconscious, but it won't go. Fight for the rebound, big push. Cassie Crouch into the back that time. Her and Summer Brazel were going at it. Third on Crouch, so Gracie Butler has 3, Maggie Butler has 4, Cassie Crouch has 3. Bella Foss has 4 for Brentwood. She was great in the second quarter, but it's been Paige Morris that sparked the Lady Bruins since from long range. Foss is in there with 4 fouls. Blood wants it and has it, now gives back to Foss. Foss off a screen. Kicks back out to Morris. Upperman with a 9-point lead, 6:13 to go. On the road against a 4A opponent. Lady Bees with some unfinished business, trying to send a statement as they open the season. Coming out of an unbelievable District 7 3A with the likes of White County, the preseason #1 in the Upper Cumberland. Morris off 2 screens, 4-3, you bet. Paige Morris cannot miss. How about 6 threes tonight for her as the inbound comes to Delenti. Brentwood back within 6. Here's Gracie Butler with it. Butler wasting no time. Drive, shoulder checks inside, and a foul. And it is Bella Foss's 5th personal. She was tasked with guarding Gracie Butler tonight, and her night is now done. Butler to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line where she will shoot 2. Foss was really good. She scored 11 points in the second quarter. But on her 5th foul, and coach is killing a little bit of time. That's a pro move, and now they get Brazel in. That's Marin Brazel who checks in. Free throw's going to be critical down the stretch here for the Lady Bees as they try to protect a narrow lead. First one for Butler is good. Seven-point lead for the Lady Bees. Make it 8. Nothing but nylon twice in a row for Gracie B. 5:35 to go in regulation. I bet Paige Morris is going to get a look here. She is unconscious. Looks like prime Ray Allen out there just reining them in. A quick trigger. It's been pretty contested. She's had only maybe one or two that weren't. But here's a steal for TT Carson in a foot race. Carson blocked, able to gather, turns around, can't make it again. Tips the rebound out to Delenti. Now Maggie Butler lines up the triple. Good! Maggie Butler from downtown. Carson sticks with it, and Butler has her second three. It's a Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate three, and a double-digit lead for the Lady Bees, and now another turnover. The first quarter was all turnovers and quick buckets for Upperman. Brentwood wants to avoid that happening again as Sella Baldwin checks in. Checking out is Kaylee Blood. Delenti to inbound. Gets it into Maggie Butler. Butler over to Delenti. Delenti going to bring it up. Sends it over to a wide open Sadie South. No good. Rebound down. Nice rebound in for Baldwin. 11-point game. Brentwood with tempo. Right side Baldwin. Works it back over for Brazel. Brazel playing for Voss. Gracie Butler playing with 3 fouls. Defending the ever-dangerous Paige Morris. She's a stud. Morris off a screen. That's a carry violation. Possession back to the Lady Bees.
Returning for the Lady Bruins, number 0, Summer Brazel. In for Upperman, number 3, Cassie Craft.
Cookeville rolling Oak Ridge right now, 62-27. Lady Cavs looking good early on. Crouch brings it up. Crouch sends left side Maggie Butler back to Crouch. Little shoulder check between Buckley and Delenti. No love lost when it's this physical of a basketball game. Gracie Butler bounces. They left Delenti wide open. That's a mistake, but it's no good. They get away with it. 11-point game still, 4:10 to go. Outlet feed ahead. One dribble three blocked. Delenti with the block. South keeps it in. Fires over to Delenti. Double arrives. Delenti steps through and is fouled. Taylor Delenti skied up for the block. And it will be Lady B basketball. They're going to get 3. That's Marin Brazel, her first. Make it her second. Whitfield checks in. Buckley checks out. Delenti to inbound to Crouch. How about the minutes from the sophomore point guard? She's been really good. They don't need her to be a big scorer this year. They need her to protect the basketball, distribute it to all these offensive weapons. South, inside Butler. What a set play to Gracie Butler for 2 more. 28 for Gracie Butler tonight in the season opener. And that is not an empty 28. She's been sensational. 13-point game. Now trying to drive inside is Morris, blocked by Butler, and then she threw it off of Morris. What a play by Gracie Butler again, and it'll be Lady B basketball. And a timeout going to be called by Coach Wilkins first. 3:29 to go in regulation. We'll see if it's a 30 or a full. Full timeout on the floor. We will take it with them on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future, it's what we do.
It's been a fun basketball game here to open up the girls' basketball season, but it's the Lady Bees with a 62-49 lead over Brentwood here on the road. Looking to open up the season with a really statement victory against a Brentwood team with glasshouse aspirations. But it's Gracie Butler right now with 28 points pacing them, and then she just had a block, threw it out of bounds, and it's going to be... They actually said Butler was out. I was wondering. We never got a clear signal, so it will be Brentwood basketball. It was still a block for Butler, but couldn't keep it in bounds. The inbound coming here from the baseline. They'll send it over the top to Brazel. 3.5 minutes to go. Brentwood needs a run. They tied it momentarily. Brazel step back three, popped out no. They've hit a ton of contested threes in this game, but that one won't go, and now a foul is sticking the leg out was Baldwin into Cassie Crouch as she worked around. This will be the third team foul against Brentwood. And it's actually her fifth, so she is done for the day. Maggie Buckley checks in for her. Taylor Delenti to inbound from the baseline. She'll bounce it for Crouch. Brazel tries to stay with her as Crouch fires it over for Taylor Delenti. Upperman in no hurry. Now looking for a great shot, not a quick shot. Brazel loses her footing. She's okay. Butler gives over to Maggie. Maggie to Sadie South. Delenti off a screen. Sends left side Maggie Butler. We talked about the experience. 4 of these girls have played together at least 2 years, and we will have a moving screen called on Sadie South. They'll say she stuck her hip out. It'll be the second against Sadie South. Second team foul against the Lady Bees. Buckley bringing it up here for Brentwood. Lady Bruins down 13 and running out of time. Underneath shot, off the top of the backboard, no. Butler with a rebound. Maggie going to slow it down, looking for Delenti. 2:35 to play. Now back to Maggie. Maggie to Gracie. With the Butler twins, of course, we go first name basis if it's your first time watching the broadcast, or else I'd just say Butler a whole lot. Here's Cassie Crouch. Crouch gives to Gracie. South, left side, Cassie Crouch. Crouch, little bump, no problem, we play on. Delenti thought about it. Instead, we'll bleed the clock even further. And now a foul. Trying desperately to force a steal was Callie Whitfield. She'll pick up her third. Team's fourth. The next one sends the Lady Bees to the line. Delenti to inbound here with 2:10 to go in the contest. Lady Bees lead by 13. Little give and go to Taylor Delenti. She'll drive the lane. Delenti just going to kill the clock some more. And now another little check for Delenti off of Brazel. Official says no problem. Crouch puts it behind the back, loses it, goes back to get it. Now spins it to Delenti. Ahead to Maggie Butler, who's wide open for the lay. Second effort play. Maggie Butler has 10 tonight, and Upperman's out in front by 15. Now here's Brazel. Thought about it, drives inside. Nice move and a foul. They'll get Sadie South for her third, and 2 free throws upcoming here for Marin Brazel. She has 1 made free throw tonight. It was on an and one in the first quarter. 1:41 to go. Upperman's lead is 15, and the Lady Bees are closing in on a season-opening victory here on the road against a 4A Brentwood squad. Stick around postgame. We'll have the scoring in the Nelson Trophy and screen printing player of the game as the first free throw for Brazel is good. Not over yet. Brentwood knows they're going to have to force some turnovers or have some missed free throws to have a chance. Obviously, they have to make this as Brazel does just that, 2 for 2. 5 tonight for her. Delenti bounces it into Gracie Butler. Can Gracie Butler get to 30? She's 2 away. She'll slam the break, spins away, now sends over to Crouch. Crouch to Delenti, who was saying, give me the ball. She's got it, now bounces it over to Crouch. Crouch. Little flip for Maggie. Maggie to Gracie. Gracie puts her head down, turns into the low block, and now will kill it again. 1:20 to go. Butler drives inside, Euros around, and she's got 30. Gracie Butler having one of her best performances of her career tonight here to open the season. Lady Bees back in front by 15. Into the corner it goes. Head fake and a drive. Shot thrown up, the runner won't go. Offensive rebound for Buckley. She'll kick out Brazel. Brazel drives through 2 defenders, finger rolls it up and through. Marin Brazel with the bucket. 13-point game as Crouch sends back to Maggie Butler. An advantage Upperman has in this situation. All 5 on the floor can handle the basketball. They lead by 13. Delenti back to Crouch. 40 seconds, no fouls here from Brentwood, just playing defense. Crouch with a sick crossover, drives inside. Cassie Crouch too strong. Maggie Butler with a rebound though. Second chance. Gracie Butler wants it. She has it. Jump stop, pull up. Can't hit. Rebound down to Brentwood. 20 seconds left. Morris brings it up here in no hurry. Outcome no longer in doubt. Paige Morris going to drive inside. Throws it over her shoulder. No. Rebounded again by Maggie Butler. She may have a double-double tonight. 9 seconds left as she sends it over to Delente. And Delente will spin it out and kill the clock. That will do it. Upperman comes on the road to Brentwood, survives a comeback attempt, pulls away late, and gets a season-opening victory. Final score here in Williamson County. Lady Bees 66, Lady Bruins 53. We welcome you into the Nick's Restaurant post-game show. Go get some ice cream pie from Nick's Restaurant tomorrow and tell them that we sent you as we tally up the scoring. And we'll get to the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game, which, if you've been watching tonight, you know exactly who it's going to be. Scoring from the game for the Lady Bees, 30 tonight for Gracie Butler, 10 for Maggie Butler, 8 for Sadie South, 5 for Taylor Delente, 4 for TT Carson, 2 for Cassie Crouch, and 2 for Abby Stone, for a team total of 66. The Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game tonight, without question, the senior guard, Gracie Butler, 30 points, probably had 5, 6, maybe even 7 steals in the contest tonight. She was sensational, and it is a big win for Upperman here on the road against Brentwood as they get it done 66-53. Next up for the Lady Bees, they come back home for a top 5 matchup. On their home floor, the Van Buren County Eaglettes, fresh off a state runner-up finish in Class 1A led by Abigail Netherton, will come take on this Lady Bees team. Tip-off set for 6 o'clock right back here. It will be on the main UCR Facebook page, YouTube channel, and NFHS Network. The Brentwood Bruins have taken the floor, and their student section is packed. Why are they all here? Because the state champs are in the building. Big test for Ty Cobb and the Bees. We'll take an intermission and come back with the action as Upperman takes on Brentwood in a 4A versus 3A measuring stick contest. Final score in our girls' game, Lady Bees 66, Brentwood 53. Much more to come from Williamson County. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It's time for the Crouch Team with Highlands Lake Real Estate pregame show. And it is a big fight feel at Brentwood High School. We're set for the boys game as the reigning Class 3A state champion Upperman Bees come into a very hostile environment to take on 4A upstart, the Brentwood Bruins. I'm Noel McKay on the call here on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. The lovely Madison McKay producing things for us tonight, and it is indeed a big fight feel. When the reigning champs are in your building, the crowd shows up and you get their best shot. We were joking earlier when Brentwood social media put this game out this morning, they talked about Ty Cobb coming to town. It is a must-see player in the building. Brentwood's got one of their own. Let's get into the matchup here. Upperman, the reigning Class 3A state champions. They knocked off Tullahoma 65-55 in that state championship game a year ago. But this is a new year, and it is a new basketball team. Their opponent, the Brentwood Bruins, under head coach Troy Crane, they were 20-7 a year ago. They lost in the first round of the district tournament, but they are a new team, and this is a new year for Upperman. Obviously, it starts with Mr. Basketball, the best player in the state. He proved it every single night a year ago, particularly in the state tournament, one of the best state tournament runs we have ever seen. Ty Cobb. His head coach, Richie McKay at Liberty, is here. Ty committed to Liberty a few weeks ago. His commitment is done. He is a 4-star, and he is the second highest rated recruit in Liberty men's basketball history. They're hoping to get another one because on the other side, Davis Cochran is the number 1 rated power forward in the state of Tennessee at 6'9". He takes the floor tonight against an Upperman team that does not have Bronsden Chaffin, graduating early, going to play at Georgia State. Big loss, obviously. They do have Colton Johnson in the lineup tonight, but he will not start. Just one practice for Colton. They need him on the floor. He will be here in short order, without a doubt, because they need him in this game. Who's going to step up besides him? Not only do they lose Bronsden Chaffin, the Bees also lose Evan Huddleston and Branson Turnbow, unsung heroes who played huge defensive roles. That conversation starts with a sophomore 6'5" guard, Joseph Maynard. Buried on the depth chart a year ago, the 6th man off the bench, sometimes 7th, 8th, 9th man off the bench. This year, they expect him to be the Robin to Ty Cobb's Batman. He can jump out of the gym. He can shoot the 3 from the perimeter. He is a breakout candidate in this state. It's also Jack Torrance and Collier Bush. Starters and off-the-bench players from the past couple of years, they're starters this year for this team. And with no Colton Johnson in the starting lineup tonight, it's Finn Sissom. He's been in at times, especially early in seasons when the football season goes a long way. Tonight, he starts. They need him not to score. They need him to be a big defensive presence, stay out of foul trouble, and disrupt Davis Cochran. That's the starters tonight in the tee-up starting lineups. Ty Cobb, Joseph Maynard, Jack Torrance, Collier Bush, and Finn Sissom. The starters for Brentwood tonight is Davis Cochran. The Robin to his Batman, Luke Matthew. The guard, number 3. He's really good. Number 4, Hudson McKnight. Number 11, Jackson McCutcheon. Number 32, Jake West. That rounds up the starting lineups for the Brentwood Bruins. Their student section is completely full, and they're juiced up. They were booing the Bees the entire pregame warm-up period, jeering them. I talked to Austin McWilliams, the assistant on the bench with his dad, Bobby McWilliams, and he said, one way or the other, this is going to be good for this basketball team. You're going to sink or swim in a hostile environment against a team that many have in the top 5 of the state in the 4A classification entering this season. The Bees on the road in their brand new uniforms, the black jerseys and shorts, white numbers and letters, outlined in gold trim with Baxter across the chest plate. Brentwood in their home white jerseys and shorts, blue numbers and letters with Brentwood across the chest plate. We sure are glad to be along with you live on UCR2 and across the entire world on YouTube and the NFHS network. Ty Cobb's season debut, the junior Mr. Basketball. How can you follow up the best season in program history? Well, we're going to find out what number 0 has up his sleeve this year. Tall test for the Bees. Let's call a spade a spade. They could lose tonight. Very rare when we say that with a season opener with a defending state champion. Davis Cochran against Joseph Maynard in the circle. Cochran a big favorite on this one, but we'll see what happens. It's a lively atmosphere tonight. We're happy to be along with you. Let's get it on as the tip won by Brentwood and the Bruins possessed to open up the ball game. Hudson McKnight will bring it up for the Bruins. He's met by Collier Bush. Upperman will get into their 2-3 quickly, but they're in man-to-man to start. Hand off to Cochran. He can stretch it from that 4 position. He's picked up by Finn Sissom. Handoff pass now over to Cochran inside. He's able to tip it up into the air, and a travel is the call. Joseph Maynard was in the way. Cochran tried to tip it to himself. Official says travel, and Upperman forces a turnover. The size will be a big issue tonight. Upperman going to have to find a way to combat it while staying out of foul trouble. Press for the Bruins early. Jack Torrance brings it ahead. Torrance gives off to Collier Bush. They need Collier Bush to emerge in a major way this season. He's been a role player that has a ton of skill and can really shoot the 3 ball, a senior guard in the starting lineup this year. Cobb sends over to Bush. Bush to Torrance in the corner. Torrance going to drive inside, now throws it up, blocked by Cochran. Davis Cochran making his presence felt in the lane. Quickly ahead, here comes Brentwood into Cochran. Cochran kicks into the corner. McKnight, open 3, on the way, can't hit. Rebound down, here's Ty Cobb out and running for the first time. Cobb in a foot race. Best transition player in the state, can't finish. Cochran disrupts, no call. We move on. Here's McCutcheon. McCutcheon weaving through traffic. Euros in, blocked. Finn Sissom blocks it out of play, and it stays with the Bruins. Scoreless, minute and 3 seconds, but you can already see this is going to be an exciting basketball game here tonight. And the official puts the ball down. He had enough of McKnight trying to orchestrate the play. Time ticking away. Maynard tries to tip it from around Cochran. Tall task for the 6'5" Maynard. They go for the alley-oop play. Cochran grabs it and just slams it home with the right hand. And Upperman's going to have to live with that tonight. You can't foul him every time. 2-0 Brentwood here early on. A very losable game for Upperman this evening. Jack Torrance has it. Torrance. But if you win, it's big. And we said, how long would it take Colton Johnson? The answer was 90 seconds. He's to the table. Tip pass looking in for Cobb. It was knocked out of play and stays with the Bees. Big Colton Johnson, 6'5", 230 pounds. He's receiving Division I offers, it seems like, every day to play football, and now the junior checks in for the first time. That's really the anecdote for Cochran. We wonder how much he can play tonight. Football shape is very different than basketball shape. Tip pass in, finds Joseph Maynard. Maynard working on Cochran, now back to Torrance. Over to Collier Bush. Bush works it left side, fires looking for Maynard, went right through his hands, and it goes the other way. This is an interesting thing we're going to watch tonight. You heard Bobby McWilliams at halftime of the girls' game say, we really don't have a ton of experience in big games on the floor. At times last year, remember who's on the floor? Turnbow, Huddleston, Chaffin. Now it's new names. They're going to have to get ready in a hurry. Bruins basketball leading 2-0. We're 2 minutes into the contest. Matthew sends back over the right side for McKnight. McKnight looking inside. Nice feed. Little hesitation, and the right-hand lay is good as Jake West gets free inside, and it's 4-0 Brentwood. Here's Ty Cobb. Hasn't touched it a ton early on. He touches it here. Sky's up in the mid-range. Can't hit. Rebound tipped by Johnson. Another chance for Brentwood with a fast start. Pushing the tempo is McKnight. Looking for the alley-oop to Cochran. Couldn't get the dunk. Rebound tipped by Bush. Torrance wins it. They try to get a couple of alley-oops early on. Torrance drives into the chest of the defender. Rejected away. Back out Bush. Now over to Torrance. Now a steal. Just gave it away. Handoff right to Matthew. Matthew now running in transition. He skies up, throws it up with the right hand, gets the friendly roll. 6-0. Very poor start for the Bees offensively. Bobby McWilliams wants 30 seconds to talk about things. 2 times we talked about how long this Brentwood team is, but that's twice now. A pass went right through the hands of the intended target, and the last time just a pure giveaway as he let go of the basketball, and it went to Brentwood. A great start for the Bruins, 6-0. How will Upperman handle being the hunted this year? They're used to it in the Upper Cumberland. Of course, they've won the district several years. They're always a factor. Now you go to Brentwood, and you don't have the luxury of catching anybody asleep. Ty Cobb's used to that. Now the Bees are, because on the side of the chest, on the sidelines, it says state champions. Right now, the Bruins with a great start. 6-0 with 5:12 to go in the first quarter. Our broadcast today is presented by Gentry's Power Equipment, your hometown steel dealer. We so appreciate their sponsorship. Ty Cobb's only had 2 possessions where he's touched the basketball. If Upperman wants to win, let's just call a spade tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to have to change. Lofton Crouch into the game for the first time for the Bees as Collier Bush sends it over to him. Crouch across the timeline. Here comes the trap. Crouch with a couple of long defenders looking at him. He shuffled the feet. That's a turnover. 101 there for Brentwood defensively. As soon as you cross the line, right into a trap. And it's Brentwood basketball on a 6-0 lead. And the Bees are quickly into their 2-3 zone. We wondered how long it would take. Not very long. Here's McKnight. Upperman looking for a stop. Left side for McKnight again. McKnight skips it across right side, in rhythm, 4-3, on line, but no good. Johnson with a rebound. Colton Johnson out and running. Johnson with a ton of speed. He just drives inside on Cochran, puts it up. How about Colton Johnson for 2? You know Colton Johnson's going to be great as Ty Cobb has a steal. Tiptoe stays in bounds and now just muscles away. Cobb weaving through traffic. Here's Ty, drives into Cochran. Ty Cobb is fouled. Drives right into 6'9" Davis Cochran, picks up the foul, and Ty Cobb to the line where he will shoot 2 at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. I was saying, you knew Colton Johnson was going to play a huge role for this team right next to Ty Cobb, but he's been fully into football mode. You've seen how great he is as a tight end and a linebacker. He looks really good. We heard he was great in practice a day ago. That driving all the way down. How about the crowd noise for Ty Cobb's first free throw, which is good. Just under 90% from the line a year ago, and Ty Cobb has his first points of the season. Jack Torrance back in here for Collier Bush. Next one for Cobb is up and good. 2 for 2 for Ty, and Upperman has stabilized after a 6-0 deficit. It's 6-4. Quickly ahead, here's Brentwood into Cochran, and he shuffled the feet again. Second travel on Davis Cochran early on. Possession back to the Bees, and the official having a word with Ty Cobb. Mentioned the head coach, Richie McKay, is here. He would love Davis Cochran to say he's going to come play there next year as well. He's got Ty Cobb in 2 years. As Cobb sees the trap arrive, skies up for his patented jump pass, sends it over to Torrance. Back to Cobb, and there has been the adjustment. A lot more Cobb touching the basketball. In rhythm, 4-3, no good. Missed everything, and now the student section will jeer him. Cross-court pass, tipped out of play by Jack Torrance. And it stays on this end with Brentwood. I dare them to chant overrated and see what happens. With 3:58 to go as Joseph Maynard checks in for Lofton Crouch. Inbound into the corner, a fastball just keeping his feet in bounds is McCutcheon. McCutcheon gives back to McKnight. He'll skip it across left side, Matthew. Right side, McKnight. Now a skip pass back to Matthew. Pass fake, little no-look feed inside. Drive right into Johnson, who turns him away. Nice bounce pass. Corner 3, up and good. Hudson McKnight with his first bucket, and it's a 5-point Bruins lead at 9-4. Cobb trying to find his rhythm. Jack Torrance with it, gives back to Colton Johnson. Johnson football feed over to Joseph Maynard. Back to Colton Johnson. Now right side, Jack Torrance. Zone look here for Brentwood as well. Both teams playing his own defense. Now here's Joseph Maynard. Maynard picks up his dribble, floats it back across to Jack Torrance. He'll trigger the deep 3. On its way, no good. Rebound, Cochran, tipped by Sissom. Ricochets around out of play, and it's going to stay with the Bees. Last touch inside by West. As Gray McAdams checks in for the first time, as is Luke Purifoy. Purifoy in. West out, as is Matthew. 9-4 our score, 3:07 to go in the first quarter. Torrance to inbound. He'll just float out to Colton Jean. Now sends it across on a rope to Joseph Maynard. Back to Johnson. Johnson has it swiped away. There's a steal. Here's McCutcheon into the half court. McCutcheon gives. Now they work it over right side to McKnight. McKnight, nice feed inside of the bounce pass. Swiped by Sissom. They get it back. Kick back to Purifoy. Now wanting inside. Turning around a couple of times is Cochran, and he uses that size to put it in. Davis Cochran with 4 early ones. Ty Cobb with just 2. And it is a 7-point early lead here for Brentwood. Upperman knew they had to play well. They are not so far. Here's Cobb into them. 4-3 connects. Ty Cobb. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 3. Upperman back in it, down 4. Here's McKnight. Gives to McCutcheon. Right side, McKnight. Does that uncork Ty Cobb? 5 points early here. Travel, uncalled. Right side again. McKnight tries to work past Torrance. Drives into Johnson, blocked. But they'll call a blocking foul here. I wonder if they're going to get Colton Johnson on this one. They are going to call Johnson for his first. On the floor. Yes, okay. So that was before the shot. So that's when he tried to slide in. 1:59 to go in the first quarter. It's 11-7. The block was ferocious, but the block was on the underside. Now deep three on the way. That one's no good. Sissom with the rebound. Finn Sissom's playing well so far here for the Bees. Cobb bringing it up. Upperman slowing the game down a bit here. An 11-7 lead for Brentwood. The students on Jersey night bouncing. Here's Cobb. Drives inside. Cobb skies up. Missed the easy bunny. Sissom with the offensive rebound, though. Now he barrels inside. Throws up with the right hand. Blocked by Davis Cochran. Easy miss for Cobb. That's very rare. Now in rhythm. McKnight will send it over left side. Now a baseline drive for Purifoy. Throws it to nobody. Out of bounds, and it goes to the Bees. You'll take that look down on the last possession every time if you're Upperman. Ty Cobb just a little bit too strong. Bush looking at a couple of different defenders. Now fires a pass. It's tipped and intercepted by McKnight and then swiped away by Bush. No, they started to point the other way. There's no way. It's Brentwood ball. Yes, it is. I think, right? Still waiting on a signal. It is Brentwood ball. 15 to go. It was pretty clearly Brentwood ball as Bush stole it away. Inbounds into the corner here. McAdams has it. Now another long three on the way and rattles home. Jackson McCutcheon from way downtown, and it's 14-7. Not much you can do about that shot if you're the Bees. Now nearly another turnover. Bush goes back, time ticking away. It's swiped out of his hands. It hit Bush. Turnover back to Brentwood. Upperman struggling with the pressure. Anybody other than Ty Cobb really giving it away right now. 7-point lead and the ball for the Bruins. Crouch back to the table for Upperman. West and Miles Thames to the table for Brentwood. 57 seconds to go in the first quarter. Inbound floated up. Grabbed by West. Final in the girls' game. Smith County gets a big win to open the season at home against the Pickett County Lady Bobcats. Tight game. 3-ball on the way. That's no good here. Rebound tipped down. And the size really working for Brentwood on both ends of the floor early. But a travel gives it back to the Bees. Thames shuffled the feet. Third travel of the quarter on the Bruins. And now Ty Cobb's going to run the point against the press. I would expect that to continue for Upper. This fires it ahead to Maynard. Maynard on one bounce over to Torrance. Mid-range jumper up. Popped it. No good. Rebound punched down. Maynard grabs it. Now over to Cobb. In rhythm. 4-3. Can't connect. Rebound down. Last touch by Crouch, and it'll go the other way. Ty Cobb not in rhythm here early. Just one made field goal. 5 points for him. Corrected here. Pass goes over right wing side. 13 seconds to go in the quarter. 14-7. Brentwood holding for the final shot. Now a drive into the low block. Turnaround and offensive foul. Yeah, that time Gray McAdams just tried to clear out Finn Sissom. Cobb to the table. He's going to check in for 2.4 seconds, which are to go here. Apologies for the quick glitch. We got it corrected here. Collier Bush to inbound. Gives it to Torrance. Got to put a shot up from 3/4 court. Would be insane, but it doesn't go. Good start for Brentwood on their home floor against the reigning champs. It's Bruins 14, B7. This is Upperman basketball presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate is hosting an exciting open house on November 23rd from 2 to 4 p.m. in the sought-after Brownstone subdivision. Maplewood Construction's newest home features a fireplace in the living space and bathrooms with all 3 bedrooms. This home also has a 2-car garage and a spacious backyard for entertaining. You can view this home at Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate's open house on November 23rd from 2 to 4. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
14-7, Brentwood with the lead as we return to action here in the second quarter. Apologies for those technical difficulties. We got it corrected for now. If it happens again, we'll fix it again. Collier Bush sends over to Ty Cobb. Cobb with it. Back to Bush. Just 5 points for Ty in that first quarter. Brentwood forced a lot of turnovers by the Bees with their length. Left side, Jack Torrance from a mile away. Can't hit. Rebound tipped up into the air. Joseph Maynard wins it back. Here's Cobb. He sends it over left side, extra feed. Ricocheted a couple of times, and it last went off the shoulder of Bush. Possession back to Brentwood. Turnovers really tallying up for Upperman early on. Also getting that scoreboard back up. Pass left and back to the right for Brentwood. Right side now, here's McCutcheon. McCutcheon floats back, now sends over. Gives it to Cochran. Cochran floats back out. You see the attention Upperman's paying to him, but he gets free again for the two-hand slam. Davis Cochran with 6 points here in this one so far, the number 1 rated power forward in the state. Showing why. At 6'9". Now a tip from behind. It's another turnover as Cochran wins it. Cochran sends over left side. Upperman in some trouble early on. 9-point deficit here on the road. Now a drive and kick out right side. McKnight wide open for 3. That one spins out. No. Rebound. Johnson able to save it in. Cobb gets the deflection. Now Ty Cobb pushing it ahead. Torrance from the corner. 4-3. No good. Upperman can't buy one right now. Rebound tip. They're going to get Colton Johnson for a push in the back. And it's the second on Johnson, who's going to play a big role tonight, but we'll see. That sends Lofton Crouch to the table. The scoreboard is coming, I promise, once it decides it wants to reappear. That's just a connection issue, and then for me to fix that one, I would have to go off air, and I don't think anybody would like that. 16-7 the score, Brentwood with the lead. I'll tell you every few seconds, I promise. Left side now into the corner. 3 ball on the way. In rhythm, no. Rebound down. Jack Torrance with a great box out, but Lofton Crouch, they're going to call a double foul. Crouch and Cochran each had a hold of each other, and that's a net win for Upperman because Davis Cochran just picked up his second personal. Crouch picks up his first. .6:01 to go here in the first half. It's 16-7. Brentwood with the lead over Upperman. As Cobb will bring it up. This time the pressure not there. Brentwood really changing up the looks, keeping Upperman off balance. Torrance picks up, now sends in to Cobb. Cobb working on West, drives inside, skies up. That is the patented Ty Cobb shot. 7 for Cobb early on in this ball game. 7-point lead for Brentwood. Here come the Bruins the other way. Send it over into the corner. Little head fake, jab and drive. Kick out McKnight. McKnight drives on the hard way, goes up and around Johnson. No, Colton Johnson with a physical rebound. Now here's Ty Cobb out and running. With speed, Cobb. Cobb with a sick crossover. Drives in, contorts, puts it up. No, grabs his own rebound and it's punched away. A couple of missed ones inside for Cobb, who claps his hands together in frustration. Here comes Brentwood the other way. Kick out pass, now McAdams. He sends it in the corner to McKnight. He's looking to get it rolling. Can't get it. Johnson with another rebound. Colton Johnson coming in, playing a big role for this team early on. Cobb tosses it back over to Jack Torrance. Back to Ty Cobb. 4:50 to play in the first half. Torrance in the corner. Into Johnson on the low block and a foul. They're going to get the swipe coming down. Jackson McCutcheon on the arm of Colton Johnson. We have the second team foul against the Bruins. First personal on McCutcheon. At the next commercial break, we will get the scoreboard back on for you. As Torrance going to inbound here, 16-9 ball game. Cobb has it. Cobb in the half court goes to work one-on-one. Shoulder checks, turns a couple of times, swiped out of his hands, and a foul. The student section went crazy, but a foul was called as McKnight caught him on the wrist. And Ty Cobb will go to the line to shoot two. Secret's out on number 0. They are juiced up every time even a hint of a positive play happens. The crowd is loving it. First one for Cobb connects. Bees back within 6. Right now, the problem for Upperman is Ty Cobb has 8. Colton Johnson has 2. Nobody else has scored. A little bit more balance despite Davis Cochran's 6 for Brentwood. Cobb goes 2 for 2, though, and Upperman certainly in the game in a 5-point gap. Colton Johnson got a quick breather, and now he will check in. They're going to get Jack Torrance out. Hudson McKnight brings it up here for Brentwood, leading by 5, 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Sends it over to Matthew. Matthew working around Crouch. Now Matthew drives again. Crouch, the hand check there. He got away with one. A little bit too much the second time. It'll be the second personal on Lofton Crouch, who's getting big minutes here. The sophomore guard. Got a good skill set, but this is obviously a big step up. He's going to be a good player. Baseline inbound coming here from Jake West. Brentwood leads 16-11, 4:18 to go in the second quarter. West in the corner now tips it back out. Purifoy picks up his dribble. Upperman stretching the 2-3 out to the perimeter. They work it over to Matthew. Matthew back to Purifoy. Crouch closes out. Purifoy puts the dribble down, swiped away. Now it's a loose ball. Purifoy has it, and he traveled. Purifoy's got to be careful. He is arguing very actively with the official, and an official with less of a patience meter could have teed him up in that spot. That's the 4th travel violation already against Brentwood. 16-11 to go it's 16-11 with 4:01 to go in the second quarter. Upperman trails by 5 with the basketball. There's the score, right on cue. Cobb has it. Sends left side for Joseph Maynard. Maynard back to Finn Sissom. Now Johnson. Upperman fortunate. It's a 5-point game. Feels like they're getting blown out. Cobb got wide open on the low block. Not sure how that happens, but he missed another layup. 3 missed layups for Ty Cobb early on. And now a pass ahead to West as Upperman fell asleep in transition defense. Jake West puts it in. Big 4-point swing as Brentwood goes back in front by 7. Now pass in. West able to tip it from around Johnson. Bobby McWilliams not happy at all. They expected a big challenge, but Upperman giving away some gimmies right now. Brentwood more than talented enough to capitalize. Cobb to inbound from the spot. Going to throw over the top to Colton Johnson. And now Cobb works away from the ball, gets the handoff. Cobb activates, drives inside. Left-hand lay, yes, sir, Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb from the right, Ty Cobb from the left, and then an easy freebie given right back. West tried to get it to McKnight, who wasn't ready, goes out of play, and Upperman gets the basketball back. 3:10 to go in the first half. Bees down 5, and that's because number 0 has 11 points. Crouch going to inbound to Cobb in the backcourt. Now he'll go to work. Maynard alone in the corner. How committed will they be to double-teaming Ty Cobb? There are 4 Bruins just watching him wherever he goes, and he still has 11. Joseph Maynard open, fires into Johnson, gets inside, puts it in for 2. Colton Johnson with 4, and somehow the Bees are only down 3. 2:45 to go in the second quarter. Pass over right side. McCutcheon has it. The Bees are taking the crowd out of the game just a little bit here with some stifling defense. Now McKnight able to spin it across for Purifoy, and a timeout called by Troy Crane. 32nd timeout on the floor. 18-15 our score. Stick around during the Happy Hiller halftime show. We'll be joined by the young lady who scored 30 points earlier on tonight, Gracie Butler, and her head coach Dana McWilliams will get their thoughts on the contest tonight. Next up for the Lady Bees and Bees, Thursday night at home in the Hive. They welcome in Van Buren County. We'll be there for all the action for a top 5 matchup. The Eaglettes, number 5 ranked, Upperman number 3 entering the season. Upperman playing like a team every bit the part of a top 5 team earlier on. It's Brentwood basketball out of the timeout by Coach Troy Crane. For Upperman, it's Ty Cobb and Colton Johnson. 4 for Johnson, 11 for Cobb. They've been not playing very well and only down 3 here on the road against a very good 4A Brentwood squad. Don't get caught up in the record from a year ago. This Brentwood team very highly touted entering tonight. McKnight has it. Works off a west screen. Now he skips it into the corner. Nice feed. Quick trigger 3. Good. Corner 3 for Luke Matthew. Mentioned he's the Robin to Davis Cochran's Batman. That was a quick trigger as he splashes it home. And an answer out of the timeout for Brentwood, back in front by 6. Now Joseph Maynard in the corner, passes up a look, gives back to Torrance. Now into Sissom. Sissom into Johnson. Johnson with position, no good. Short-armed it, gets it back though, puts it up with the left hand, and he makes the much tougher look. Colton Johnson looks like he's been practicing basketball for a month, not a day. Here's McKnight. 21-17 to score. Bruins with the lead. Good one developing in the corner. Same exact play. Same exact result. Luke Matthew, back-to-back threes on back-to-back possessions. 24-17 now, a 7-point Bruins lead. 90 seconds to play in the third. Torrance gives off to Maynard. Maynard picks up his dribble. Sissom. Tip pass out to Ty Cobb. Now into Colton Johnson. Johnson spins out to Torrance and he's fouled. Hack on the arm from Luke Matthew. That'll be his first. 24-17 to score. Brentwood's led by as many as 9. Smith County won over Pickett County 48-45 earlier on. There's been a couple of scores sent, but that is the correct one because Jacob was there. Into Finn System in the low block. He fades away, missed everything. Rebound down. Grabbed by McCutcheon. A chance for Brentwood to regain all the momentum. Out of that timeout, they've looked good. Quick trigger 3, McKnight. Now all of a sudden, out of that timeout, they've hit 3 straight triples. Hudson McKnight from downtown, and Brentwood, out of nowhere, has its largest lead up 27-17. Ty Cobb has it here. 44 seconds to go. Over to Torrance. Are they going to hold here down 10? Try to get into the locker room with a comeback still possible. Back to Ty Cobb. Cobb over to Torrance, 28 seconds. They are content to hold, it appears. Torrance has it. Soft defense so far from Brentwood. Now they'll step to him. Hand off to Ty. Cobb fakes like he wants a screen, drives inside, skies up, contorts and hits. Ty Cobb with another 2, keeping his team in it. 8-point game. 6 seconds left. Now he swipes it and waits. Up in the air. Matthew has it. Matthew fires a pass across. Spinning outside, and that shot does not get away in time. And that brings us to the end of the first half. After 2, it's Brentwood 27, Upperman 19. We'll be back in the Happy Hiller halftime show around the corner. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Mayberry's Furniture has been family-owned and operated since 1946 and is now serving the Upper Cumberland with locations in both Crossville and Cookville, offering the largest array of solid wood furniture and mattresses in the area. They also provide a best price guarantee and in-house service and delivery. Stop into their 15,000 square foot showroom at 1020 South Willow Avenue in Cookville to see their selection of Amish solid wood, flex steel, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and much more today. Mayberry's Furniture is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the high school football game of the week on the UCR Media Network. Up is the Upper Cumberland's best indoor golfing experience. With 3 state-of-the-art golf simulators, you can work on some of the world's best courses, all in the comfort of their climate-controlled facility. Want to know where you can improve? See everything from club speed to spin rate in seconds. They also have plenty of other games to enjoy time with friends. Conveniently located at 141 4th Street in Baxter. Stop in. Visit them online at teupgolfclub.com or call them at 931-559-GOLF to reserve your simulator today. T-Up is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Livingston Regional Hospital is Livingston's hometown hospital. Located at 315 Oak Street, Livingston Regional Hospital provides compassionate quality care for all patients from local people you can trust so you can count on them to treat you like family. Their excellent staff offers years of experience and training to meet the needs of all patients. They understand the importance of providing care in a professional and comforting manner. They're proud to partner with Livingston Academy Athletics through the LRH Sports Medicine team. Livingston Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. It's time for the Happy Healer halftime show. At the break of the boys' game, Brentwood with a lead over Upperman 27-19. The Bees trying to sweep the doubleheader because the Lady Bees victorious earlier on, 66-53 over Brentwood. We're joined by the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game, Gracie Butler, and the head coach, Dana McWilliams. Gracie, let's start with you. 30 points in the season opener. What was the key for you tonight getting it going really early?
Play as a team and make sure we don't give them a lot of offensive rebounds.
How comfortable are you? You guys were able to get up and press really early. All 5 girls on the floor with a ton of speed. Is that what you enjoy doing, being able to kind of run back and forth like that?
Yeah, it makes the game quick. I like that. I like how fast it is.
You played really under control tonight, around the rim, able to finish, got a couple of and ones. Has that been a focus for you in this offseason?
Yeah, I guess.
And then what's the goal now? You go back home now, you get to go home, you play a good Van Buren County team very early in the season. What's kind of the focus for you as you're gearing things up here?
We'll focus on our team and how we play.
Fantastic. All right, Coach, your thoughts on the game. Great start. Got it a little interesting. They tied it up, you get a timeout, and then you pull away late.
Yeah, I think when they tied it up, I can't remember the scenario exactly when they tied it up. It might have been Taylor hit a 3 in the corner. I don't know if we were up then when she hit the 3 in the corner, if that was to take the lead.
I think that took the lead out of the timeout.
I think so, too. We were back and forth as coaches, and we had a couple sets, and they said, if we run Memphis, Taylor's going to be wide open. I said, that's the one. So we ran it, and, did a great job. Cassie found her, got a good look. And, I think several times they're a really good team, so they answered, a lot. And we came back, and I thought we executed really well. And when, we didn't have any panic in anything, we were very confident in what we're doing. Had scoring from a lot of different areas. And I thought, when they made their run, we withstood it good, came right back at them.
You mentioned that they're a good team. I felt like they were hitting contested looks, got really hot from three-point land, but no panic. How good was that? And is that a reflection, your starting 5, you have 4 girls who played at least 2 years together, and then Cassie Crouch, who just seems like she's wise behind her years, to be able to withstand that. A lot of teams early in the season may crumble in a spot like that.
Yeah, well, and we felt like we had a chance and an opportunity, and we feel like to be successful this year. We know we've got 3 really good seniors for our leadership, and they've played a lot of minutes. We got Sadie coming back, who's played a ton of minutes too. And then we talk about Cassie. I told you that, she's really made a big difference in our team. So I think they have really good team chemistry. I don't know if you could, I'm sure you could see that tonight, but, like Taylor's had to change her role a little bit. She has to be a little bit more of a passer. She's all my inbounds plays. She does a great job finding Gracie or Sadie or Maggie, whoever it is. And I think their chemistry is just good. They know when each other's going to cut. They know really when somebody's going to take a shot. It just feels good out there and feels comfortable, I guess you should say.
There was very few moments where you didn't have 5 girls on the floor who could all dribble and that had a lot of speed.
Yeah.
How big of an asset is that with a team that had to come at you and press with the deficit that they were in? Everybody can possess the basketball.
That's huge. That's what I told Cassie. So the good thing about being the point guard on this team, you don't have to do it all. They can help. And Maggie was a huge asset, I thought. And you, Gracie, I thought when they were struggling, Maggie's going to be able to handle, and Gracie as well. But I thought, Cassie, she handled the ball the majority of the time. I thought TT came in and gave us some great minutes. She made a big steal late in the game, too. It was a big steal for her.
No doubt.
I think Maggie
4 points off the bench as well for Carson tonight.
Yeah, I think Maggie was 1 point away from a double-double. I mean, not 1 point, one rebound
she
away.
Had 10 points and 9 boards,
Yeah, so, that's exciting.
Well, you got to tell him he's got to be a little more generous with the rebounds. If you're 1 away from a double-double, that's where you just you chalk it up.
I thought I was really happy. of their coaches came to me after the game, assistant coach, and said, "Coach, I don't know if I've ever seen a team come out more ready and more energy." He said it was really amazing to watch.
Right.
And I felt that's one thing we wanted to improve on from last season. We talked a lot about, we didn't always start out great last year, and we didn't really realize we would start out that well, but we wanted to make sure we were starting off better.
How about the play of your senior next to you, Gracie Butler, tonight? 30 points. I mean, there was a time where I think she was at 24 and Taylor had 4, and we were like, you told me that before the game that Taylor Delente has 4 points in the middle of the third quarter. I think it's a bad night for Upperman, and it certainly was not.
For real. Well, that's the one thing. Gracie and Taylor play together for so long, but they do such different things, and they're both such a good weapon out there. You have to decide what you want to try to give up, and so when we've got great shooters around Gracie. Gracie's a great shooter as well. Of course, you saw her shoot it tonight. She can shoot it well too, but she can attack the rim if that's what they want to do. Her game has gotten so much better. Gracie's has, where she drives it when we have the open three, we throw it. If not, she can get to the rim. So I think they just play really well together, and each of them brings something really good for our team.
Gracie, you played with 3 fouls for a long time. Was that in the back of your mind? How were you able to avoid picking up that 4th for a while?
She said in the locker room that we're not 7 years old anymore.
You didn't pick up the 4th.
No.
I did say that. I just said, Maggie and Gracie, you guys play the same sometimes when you have 1 foul or 4 fouls. And I said that was okay when you were 7, but because they used to play so hard. They would foul out every game when they were little. But people would say something about they foul. I said, I don't care. I love it. I love how aggressive. But they're both talented players. So they got to be a little bit smarter when they're in foul trouble. So Gracie did a really good job. Maggie came back and did a great job
4
too.
fouls,
4 fouls,
yeah. Absolutely. The last one for you, Coach, real quick. You get. I feel like I've interviewed you enough early in the season to know that this is a time where all the attention is on Upperman and getting better. But you get a state runner-up in your barn, an Upper Cumberland matchup on Thursday. Is the focus on you, and what is that attention, knowing you get a big game? It'll be an emotional night with the boys' banner and all that comes along with it.
Oh, yeah, we're excited, and we know they're a great team. We definitely won't be overlooking them. Right. We know that, and we got a lot of respect for them. We know that, they're trying for their championship in their division, and we are early on. We're going to worry way more about Upperman. I've already said that to the girls. I said, we're going to take care of us mostly. Okay, we're going to know some things, and we're going to do our job, with our scout and stuff, but we're really going to try to make sure we're getting better early on in the season.
Absolutely. Gracie, that was like 50 words. We were trying to get over 6. You got 50. It won't be the last time you're on, though. By the end, you're going to be just fluent in broadcastese. We appreciate you taking the time, Coach. Thank you as always. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
We so appreciate Gracie Butler and Dana McWilliams for joining us there during the Happy Hiller halftime show. As we get back to it here in the boys' game, Brentwood leads Upperman 27-19. For Upperman, it's all Ty Cobb and Colton Johnson. Johnson didn't start, came in 90 seconds into the ball game, gave him 6 points. Ty Cobb with the other 13 for the Bees. Upperman cut it to 3. Brentwood, though, closed on a nice run, and they now have an 8-point advantage and have the basketball. Back to it here. Luke Matthew has it. Matthew sends over left side McKnight. Now Davis Cochran. He sat the majority of the second quarter with 2 fouls. Now a skip pass across to Matthew in the corner. They hit a couple of open threes there. That was what broke it open. 3 triples in the third quarter for Brentwood. Upperman did outscore them in the frame, though, by a point. McKnight drives in, throws it up, looking for Cochran. Ty Cobb swats it. Now Maynard wrestles the basketball away. Sometimes, 6'9", your best antidote is Ty Cobb's verticality. Cobb has it in the half court here. Works off a screen. Picks up his dribble. Swings it over for Jack Torrance. Torrance drives in the lane. Now turnaround jumper. Tough look. Won't go. Rebound tipped up into the air. Matthew couldn't keep it in, and it stays with the Bees. This is the type of game. Let's just be honest, ladies and gentlemen. If Upperman wants to win, Ty Cobb has to score 35 points. Collier Bush, quick trigger 3. No, his first shot won't go. Now a tie-up, and Joseph Maynard and Jake West each with a hold of the basketball, and it will be Upperman ball on the arrow. Upperman's been pretty good on the boards in this game, despite the size mismatch in favor of Brentwood. Collier Bush to inbound here. Ty Cobb inbounds it to Colton Johnson. Now Collier Bush receives. Bush sends right side for Torrance. Now Johnson. Johnson backdoor cut for Cobb. It's swiped away by McKnight. Great hands by Hudson McKnight. Now ahead, here comes Davis Cochran trying to dribble through traffic. Ty Cobb takes it away. Now Cobb works off a little contact. Cobb, triple team, steps through and is fouled. They're going to get on the floor on that one. They will. See what they get on this call. There's a couple of Bruins flirting with a bit of foul trouble, but everybody else was 0. They're going to get Hudson McKnight with his second personal. Team's first. Inbound was punched back at Jack Torrance out of play. Matthew arguing that it hit Torrance on the way back. The official says no, and now they're going to change, and Ty Cobb will become the inbounder. Cobb going to float it out to Colton Johnson. Trying to get it for Cobb off a couple of screens. He will pop free finally. A lot of contact, no problem. We play on. Physical game. Cobb skips it across for Collier Bush. Neither team has scored in the opening 85 seconds of the quarter. Maynard, left side for Bush. Now Cobb. Cobb has a little bit of space, so triggers it and hits. Ty Cobb from downtown. His second Sonia Brown American Way Real Estate 3. The Bees are within 5. And they have not played well. Hudson McKnight has it. But when you got Superman, you got a chance. It's that simple. Speaking of, here's the steal. Get your cameras ready. Cobb goes up, can't finish. It's his 4th missed layup of the night. But a rebound tipped out of play, and Upperman keeps it. Cobb has been great. He has 16 points, and he could have 25 if the layups would go. Cobb's going to inbound this time from the left side of the basket. Got to go somewhere, and he's just going to throw it over to Johnson. Sees it go over his shoulder all the way back to possess. Johnson just going to bring it up himself. Now he'll hand off to Cobb. 5-point game. Cobb works on West, picks up his dribble. Little bump, no call. Now Bush lines up the deep 3. Can't get it. Upperman just needs 1 to go from somebody not named Cobb or Johnson, and they got a great chance, but nothing's going. They've had some good looks. They like Collier Bush from that spot. Here's Luke Matthew. Back to McKnight. 5-point game. Now pass tipped by Johnson, stolen by Cobb. Another turnover forced by the B zone. Here's Johnson. He just barrels inside. Johnson throws it up wildly. Not a great look. Rebound down Hudson McKnight. Now pushing the tempo, McKnight bounces it to Matthew. Able to tip it to himself. Now Cochran. Cochran skip pass across. Long 3 on the way and good. Jackson McCutcheon, the difference in the game right now. The supporting cast showing up bigger for Brentwood than for Upperman. Bees need that to change. Here's Maynard left side. Cobb wants it. He has it from the right wing. Cobb on McKnight, gives back to Bush. 8-point lead again for Brentwood. Bush sends back to Torrance. Brentwood knocked off Upperman 2 years ago in their first game of the season, 56-42. That was Cobb's 3rd game of his career. Speaking of, Cobb in the mid-range. And look out, Ty Cobb starting to feel it. Now a pass ahead for Matthew. Matthew hit a couple of threes back in the second quarter. Now tip pass to McKnight. Speaking of shooters, he's a great one and splashes it home. Hudson McKnight from downtown and it's the 3 ball for Brentwood that's propelling them to a 9-point advantage. Bees in some trouble if nothing changes. Here's Collier Bush. Drives and kicks over to Maynard. Maynard back to Torrance. Now Johnson all alone in the mid-range. Johnson fakes the handoff, drives. That's the old Bronson Chaffin play. Now skips it to nobody. Bush tips it. Bush and Torrance kind of looking at each other. And Bobby McWilliams, sensing what I'm sensing, says enough of that and calls timeout. 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Brentwood leads by 9. This is Upperman basketball presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
At the Quality Family, we believe care isn't just a service, it's a promise.
Whether you're bouncing back from surgery, navigating a serious illness, or need essential equipment to stay independent,
we provide skilled home health, compassionate hospice, and reliable DME services right where you need them most. At home.
Covering communities in Kentucky and Tennessee, we're in your corner.
The Quality Family. Trusted care right where life happens.
Welcome back. Coverage tonight presented by Gentry's Power Equipment. And right now it's the 3 ball in the supporting cast for Brentwood, which has them out in front by 9. Full timeout on the floor called by Bobby McWilliams. Brentwood 33, Upperman 24. Next up for the Bees, they'll get to unveil their new banner on Thursday night as they welcome in Van Buren County. It's a doubleheader. It'll be live on the main UCR Facebook page and YouTube channel. Upperman needs somebody to emerge. Right now it's Ty Cobb with 18, giving them a chance. Colton Johnson with 6, nobody else with a point. And Cobb has missed a few layups as well, despite the 18 points. Johnson gives over to Bush. Bush back to Johnson. Bush again. Not enough movement right now for Upperman as Torrance gives back to Cobb. McAdams thought about it, and then he gives a little bit more space for Cobb. Cobb goes to work with a crossover behind the back. Oh, my goodness. Contorts can't finish. Johnson with a rebound tipped by Cochran. Fight for the rebound. Grabbed by McAdams. My goodness, what a move by Ty Cobb, but a good help side defense bails it out. Now a step back 3. Are you kidding me? Jackson McCutcheon, a tremendous shooter, steps back, James Harden-esque, and splashes home to 3. Brentwood all of a sudden has its largest lead, up by 12. Here's Cobb trying to put on the cape. Over to Johnson, works it around Cochran, throws it up, but a foul. This could be big. If it's on Davis Cochran, it's his 3rd. It is not. They get Gray McAdams. That's his 2nd. Colton Johnson will go to the Sonia Brown American Way Real Estate free throw line to shoot 2. 2 subs to the table for both teams. For the Bees, it'll be Lofton Crouch and Finn Sissom. Colton Johnson has probably not been practicing his free throws very much, but Upperman needs them. First one is good. He's been really good tonight. Really good. Subs in for both teams. Game very much still up in the air. 36-25 the score. Upperman trails on the road. Told you, very losable game. Right now they're losing. Rebound tipped on a missed free throw, grabbed away by Brentwood. They bobble and nobody there to disrupt for the Bees. Here's McKnight. Brentwood trying to get some big separation. Defensive battle so far. McKnight works on Cobb, tries to drive inside, now he'll tip it back. Little stutter step for Purifoy. Now West. West on Sissom, gives back to Cochran. Cochran thought about the long one, instead tries to drive. Sissom bodies him up. Fade away for Cochran, no. Johnson with a rebound. Good defense by Finn Sissom and Colton Johnson on the 6'9". Cochran. Here's Maynard. Has it swiped away, but a foul. Hacking away at the arms of Joseph Maynard. McKnight and Purifoy both in there. And they're going to get Purifoy. That's his 1st. 2:40 to go in the third quarter. Upperman trails by 11 here at Brentwood. Cobb inbounds to Johnson. Johnson flips to Cobb. Cobb with room to operate. Little shot fake. Now over to Johnson. Punch from behind. He gathers. Johnson drives in. Throws it up with the right hand. Good. Colton Johnson feeling it. He's got 9 points. Back to a single-digit game. Every time Upperman sniffed a comeback, it's been a big 3 on the other end for Brentwood. See if that trend continues. West gets the floater. Now over to Cochran. He will trigger the three. That one's no good. Great box out for Lofton Crouch, who gets the board. Now Crouch bounces back to Cobb. Cobb, a steadying force as he brings it across the timeline. Here comes Sissom for the screen. Cobb eyes up the whole way as he works at left elbow, picks up his dribble. Hands off to Maynard. Maynard around the screen. Kicks back to Johnson. Now Crouch goes out to grab. Crouch off of Johnson's screen. Skies up in the mid-range. Lofton Crouch can't hit. Johnson with a rebound, though. The putback way off the mark. Rebound tipped out of play, and it stays with the Bees. Still, no points for anybody not named Ty Cobb or Colton Johnson. When you consider that, Upperman incredibly fortunate to only be down 9. 5 different Bruins have scored in this contest. That's not a ton either, but it's certainly more than 2. Cobb gets that post-up position. Working on McKnight. Turnaround shot, good. Ty Cobb. Big flex. Oh, my goodness, they teed him up. They teed up Cobb. He had a big flex, and now he's smirking at the official. Bobby McWilliams not happy with his point guard, and this is going to give the Bruins an opportunity at 2 in the ball as Cobb picks up his first personal. And I'm sorry, but we got to have a little bit more than that in a game like this. Free throw, no good. McCutcheon missed. There's a little bit of ball don't lie. I get it. You don't want taunting. I understand, but you got to understand the moment. Next one on its way is good. McCutcheon splits them. Back to an 8-point Bruins lead with the basketball after the technical foul on Ty Cobb. And Cobb talks to the official. He gives a little thumbs up. The Ty turns his head slightly and looks towards the sideline or somewhere else. He probably doesn't get tagged for that, but the official says you're right in the face, so they call him for the tee. Will that lock him in, though, is the other question. McKnight off a screen. Cobb right there in his grill. McKnight, pass tipped up by Cobb right to Maynard. Maynard, eyes up as he brings it up the floor. Maynard ahead to Crouch. Back to Maynard. Maynard drives inside, spins back to Crouch. Cobb wants it and has it. Cobb from the volleyball line. Looks up at the scoreboard. 1:10 to go in the quarter. Bees down 8. Ty goes to work on McKnight. Activates. Turnaround shot for Ty Cobb. No good. A rebound down to Cochran. Upperman wanted a foul. They don't get it. Here they come ahead. McCutcheon just triggers the three. A gifted shooter. That one won't go. Maynard, though, tips the rebound. It's out of play. It's one if he lets drop, it may just be Upperman basketball. Brentwood gets it back. 52 seconds to go in the quarter as Jack Torrance is at the table. And he's going to check in. Ty Cobb going to get his end-of-quarter breather. Unless Upperman gets the ball back on a stoppage, he'd go back to the table. Inbound here. Cochran gives off. Now floating back is McCutcheon. Sends right side McKnight. They got a mismatch. Trying to save it, but Torrance forces the miss. Crouch comes away with it, but it's stolen away by McKnight. Now McKnight drives in, contorts and finishes. Can't have it if you're the Bees. McKnight with the 2. Back to a 10-point game. Margin for error gone for Upperman here on the road in their season opener. Ahead, Johnson able to win it. Johnson drives inside, puts it up. Good and one. Count it as West tried to slide in, but the feet were moving. Colton Johnson with the finish, and he'll go to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. Colton Johnson has been awesome in this basketball game as Collier Bush checks in for Lofton Crouch. Eight-point lead for Brentwood. Johnson hits the free throw, and we will see Kingston Mills, the transfer in, at 6'7". A lot of potential here, trying to mold him as this coaching staff. Look for him to fill into a role as the season moves on. He's going to get about 24 seconds or so of playing time as Colton Johnson gets a well-earned breather. Upperman is within 7 here on the road. And now we're going to get a towel, I believe, because there's sweat from where those bodies hit the floor on the charge take attempt and end up being a blocking foul. So they'll get that dried up with an Upperman towel. Brentwood with a chance to get it to 9 or 10 heading into the fourth quarter. If they could hit a shot, they'd really ignite this crowd. They led by 7 at the end of the first, 8 at the end of the second, up by 7 now. So sustained right here at this mark. Upperman's cut it to 3 once. The Bees have not led tonight. Here's Hudson McKnight bringing it across the line with 20 seconds to go. It's picked up by Torrance. McKnight bounces over to West. West goes to the free throw line, now trying to fire it back. He finds McCutcheon. McCutcheon working on Bush, steps back over to West, into the low block Cochran, on Mills. Mills, good defense, but he caught him on the arm. Good defense till the last second. Davis Cochran puts it through. He'll go to the line to try to complete a three-point play. Big bucket for Brentwood as Ty Cobb and Colton Johnson go to the table to check in for a final shot with 3.3 to go. Davis Cochran, 8 points so far tonight. Bobby McWilliams to his young sophomore says, you're fine. That was good defense. You're just going up against a great player that made a play. Cochran certainly is that. Free throw, high arcing, and through. 10-point lead for Brentwood, 3.3 seconds for Ty Cobb. They'll try and get a heave. Last time they had an opportunity, Torrance got the inbound. I'd imagine they want Zero to touch it if they can. Johnson gets it to Cobb. Cobb works around a defender. 1 second from half court. This would count. No good. Just left. And Brentwood trying to finish off a strong opener. They lead Upperman 42-32 heading into the fourth and final quarter. This is Upperman basketball presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Watson Chevrolet is proud to present the area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Watson Chevy's staff of experts are ready to get you into your next vehicle with unmatched service and knowledge. Stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway and get your vehicle serviced by their highly trained professionals. Right now, you can save money on oil changes, regular maintenance, and battery installation. And remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Watson Chevy is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the UCR Media Network. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this 3-bed, 2-bathroom home in the desirable Poplar Point subdivision in Rickman. This home sits on just under an acre with a 2-car garage and over 1,500 square feet of living space. It's the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. For more information, visit ChadandAmyCrouch.com or call 931-979-1191. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Fourth and final quarter underway here in Brentwood, and it's the Bruins with a 10-point lead over the Bees. They're trying to spoil Upperman's party in their first game back as reigning state champions. You mentioned Brentwood, very highly touted during this season. They've looked the part. Some great shooters, and they've got a superstar player. Ty Cobb has 20. Colton Johnson has 12. Nobody else has scored for the Bees through 3 quarters as they go into Cochran. Cochran over the shoulder to McKnight in the corner. 4-3, and he hits. There's the shooters. Hudson McKnight splashes it home, and Upperman's in a world of trouble. Down 13, 30 seconds into the fourth quarter. Cobb across to Collier Bush. Now Joseph Maynard. Maynard. Johnson was open inside, just couldn't find him. Bush sends into Cobb. It's punched. Ty reassesses. Cobb drives in. Turnaround shot. He's fouled on the way up. We're going to get Luke Matthey for his second. Ty Cobb goes to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line to shoot 2. Talked about it after halftime. If Upperman wants to win, it's a 35-plus point game for Ty Cobb. And at this point, it may be more than that, as his first one is good. He's at 21 now. Cobb, next one, on its way. Pops around and through. Cobb, a perfect 6 for 6 at the line this evening. Tip pass ahead as they break the press with ease. Cochran. Skies just towers over everybody on the floor. They send it left side. McCutcheon, now back to McKnight. Brentwood in no hurry. Why would they be? 11-point lead. Into the corner for Cochran. Cochran can just look over everybody's head and fires it back across to McKnight. Looking for the alley-oop. It's off the mark. They've been trying to get it a few times tonight. An errant pass, though, and that's a break for the Bees. They get it back with 6:45 to go. Coach Crane's not happy. Cobb brings it up. Cobb skies and now skip pass ahead to Joseph Maynard. Maynard between the legs, now back for Collier Bush. Cross for Cobb. Urgency going to have to tick up for the Bees a bit. Down by 11, 6.5 to go. Trying to get the play established. Cobb off a screen. West there in his face. He'll step back. Now they'll switch off with McKnight. Maynard baseline drive. He's bumped and a foul. They're going to get Jake West on his second. second team foul. And Gray McAdams will check into the game. Well, he will check in eventually, but the official didn't call for him to go in. And I don't know if he's going to let him sub. We'll see if they're just feeling kind. Official never pointed. And now they will let him in. West was ready to get out, and McAdams was ready to get on. It's game one for everybody. Torrance to inbound. Fires it into Johnson on the low block. Johnson one dribble, gets to his spot, puts it off the glass and good. Colton Johnson with 14 points. He's been great. A 9-point game again. It's been about this the entire second half. Upperman cut it to 3 for a moment in the second quarter. Since then, Brentwood's been comfortably ahead because every time it's gotten a hint of being close, they've hit a 3. McKnight has it. McKnight skips it across to Matthew. 5:50 to go in the ball game. 9-point lead for the Bruins on their home floor. McKnight bounces back to McCutcheon. A lot of MCs. I like that as McKay. Right side, now a skip pass across. Dangerous. McKnight able to stay in. Now goes to Cochran. Cochran turns, it's swiped, stolen away. Bush with the steal. An opportunity for the Bees. 5.5 to go. Dangerous pass. Cobb able to tiptoe and stay in bounds. The time for empty possessions is gone for the team in black and gold. Cobb one-on-one, drives, contorts, blocked. Davis Cochran at 6'9", covers a lot of space, blocks it away. Now a dangerous pass on the other end, and they're going to get Collier Bush for a foul. That's Bush's first personal. First team foul against the Bees. Inbound coming here with 5:13 to go. That was a great block by Davis Cochran. Now he has it in the half court. Skips it over left side. McCutcheon. No hurry again for Brentwood. They're not stalling by any stretch, but they're in no rush, and they shouldn't be. Now to the free throw line, trying to drive inside on Johnson. That shot won't go. Rebounded. A lot of empty trips for Brentwood, but Upperman hasn't capitalized yet. Now a pass ahead from Cobb to Torrance. He's fouled. Counted and one. Jack Torrance finishes inside off a great feed from Ty Cobb. And finally, somebody other than Cobb or Johnson has scored. They're going to get the foul on McKnight. That's his third. Pardon me, they call it on Davis Cochran. That's his third. Torrance at the line to try and cut it to a 6-point game at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. Finn Sissom back into the game, in for Collier Bush. Free throw is good for Jack Torrance, who's just sticking with it. And Upperman hanging around now. 4:50 to go, back within 6. But they got to find another stop. Here's Luke Matthew. He gives off to McKnight. Now ahead to Cochran. The only thing about slowing it down is they were playing so well at their pace with these shooters. Will that take them out of their rhythm? We'll find out. Matthew, nice touch pass to Cochran. Couldn't get the dunk, but he gets the lay-in either way for 2. Tic-tac-toe passing. Now again a skip pass. Finn Sissom has it, puts it up, and good. Sissom with the finish with Cochran behind, and it's back to a 6-point game. Here's McCutcheon. He'll drive inside. Now spins out to Cochran. Cochran flips it back across to McKnight. 4:08 to go. McKnight, couple of dribbles into the corner. Quick trigger 3 on its way. No good. Cochran with a rebound, though. Muscles up, shot fake, puts it up and in. Davis Cochran now up to 13 points. An 8-point Brentwood lead, 3:55 to go. Cobb skips it ahead to Johnson with room to operate. Johnson just trucks his way inside. It's blocked out of his hands once, twice, and a foul, and this is a big one. The 4th on Davis Cochran. If he leaves the game, Upperman has a chance. Colton Johnson at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line to shoot 2. It's also the 4th team foul against the Bruins, so the Bee is going to shoot 2 free throws on every foul that's not player control the rest of the way. Missed free throws, though, would be huge. That one's no good. 0 for 2 for Johnson. A big break for Brentwood. They lead by 8. Now they're looking for a potential dagger. Baseline pass. Now they skip it back out. Wide open McKnight. Don't want to leave him open. No good. Upperman with a break. Cobb tips it to himself. Now it's a foot race with Ty Cobb. He drives in, skies up, and puts it through. Cobb in transition. Forget about it. Full timeout on the floor by Bobby McWilliams. We'll take it with him. 3:27 to go. It's a 6-point ball game here in Williamson County. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Are you looking for the best dining experience in the Upper Cumberland? Visit Fire and Vine in Cookeville's historic West Side. Fire and Vine offers great service and a unique menu, including mouth-watering deep dish pizza, delectable beef, chicken, fish, and more. Take in stunning views from the rooftop while enjoying your meal. Come and experience the charm and flavor of Fire and Vine, your new favorite spot for a memorable dining experience. Fire and Vine is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
.327 to go in the ball game. Brentwood leads Upperman 49-43. Ty Cobb's trying to put on the cape. 24 points for Mr. Basketball. They finally have gotten some scoring from other places, though, as Upperman. 3 for Jack Torrance in the quarter, and 2 for Finn Sisson to go along with 14 total for Colton Johnson. But Davis Cochran on the other side with 13 points, 14 for Hudson McKnight, including 4 3-pointers. And Brentwood leads by 6 with the basketball. Upperman going to try and force some turnovers and miss shots as they look for an improbable comeback against a very good 4A Brentwood squad. You see why we've been talking about Brentwood and why everyone thinks they're going to be really good this year. They put it on display tonight with the lead over a defending state champion. Matthew has it. Back to McKnight. McKnight into Cochran. He just tips it in. Gets free on that low block. Really nice speed. And Cochran, that's way too easy. He's got 6 in the quarter. Back to a comfortable 8-point lead for Brentwood. 3:04 to go. Torrance sends it ahead to Cobb. Cobb spins inside. Cobb has a pass tipped by Cochran. Davis Cochran and his length have changed this basketball game. He's had a couple of big blocks, that time with the steal. Most players have no chance getting to that. He's not most players. 6'9", every bit the part. Flips it back, 2:42 to go. 8-point lead, and Brentwood fires it inside. Wide open, they pass up the look. Instead, a little shot fake for McKnight. Now he'll drive, poke from behind. It goes to Sissom. Now ahead to Cobb in a foot race. One-on-one for Ty Cobb. Goes up. Can't get the and one. Foul is called. Gray McAdams gets his 3rd, team's 5th, and Cobb will go to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line with 2:28 to go. Try to cut it to a 6-point game. A lot of layups have not gone tonight for the Bees. That one obviously disrupted by the contact, as the first one for Cobb is good. Next one for Ty Cobb as Collier Bush is at the table. Cobb rattles it home. It's good. Sissom checks out for Bush. 2:28 to go in the ball game. It's 51-45. Brentwood is led by as many as 13. That's now 6. Full court press time here for Upperman. Matthew skips it ahead to McKnight. Now a tip pass back to Matthew. Matthew between the legs. Time running out. Crosses the timeline. Bush right there. Tries to throw it off him and does. What a play by Matthew. Now it's nearly swiped away by Maynard. Fight for it on the floor. That's a tie-up. The arrow belongs to Upperman. They get the turnover. Joseph Maynard in there alongside Torrance and Bush. Upperman basketball down 6 with 2:13 to go. Cobb going to bring it up here for the Bees. He has the play call. Now Johnson floats it back. They read it the whole way. Cochran with the steal. Telegraphed it. Cochran drives in. Colton Johnson bodies him, and Cochran finishes, and the and one. Davis Cochran has 8 1/4, can make it 9, and is that it? As they lead now by 8 again. Count the bucket. Johnson picks up his 3rd. That time they tried to get it back to Cobb, and the pass was just too fluttered, too easy for the 6'9" Cochran to get in front of. Free throw up, nothing but nylon for Cochran. Good players step up, great players step up and winning time. He has done that. 9 in the quarter, 18 in the game. Bush gives it over to Johnson. Now Torrance. Now Johnson going to drive inside. Johnson takes it all the way in for the right-hand leg. Colton Johnson has 16 with 1 practice. 7-point game again. Here's McKnight. Shrugs off Bush. Sends right side, 90 seconds to go. Now a foul for a bump on Jack Torrance. There'll be a 3rd team foul against the Bees. First personal on Jack Torrance.
Foul goes against number 2, Jack Torrance. His first, team's 3rd, 1:30 in the quarter.
Inbound coming here for West. 90 seconds exactly to play in the ball game. McKnight back to West in the corner. Now off a screen for the dagger. 3. No good. Cobb with a rebound. That's a quick shot and a chance for Upperman. Cobb being bodied the entire way by Luke Matthew, and this is a good opportunity for Upperman. They're in the bonus, so 2 free throws upcoming here for Ty Cobb with 1:22 to go. If you can score with the time stopped, you take that. And they actually have Matthew at 4 personal fouls here, so that's both him and Cochran with 4 as Cobb connects on the first free throw. Back to within 6, 1:22 to go. Brentwood settled for a quick shot on that inbound. Missed, and Upperman gets 2 out of it just about 5 seconds later. Ty Cobb has 28 tonight. 1:22 to go. It's a 5-point lead for Brentwood in the basketball. Matthew tries to drive into Cobb. Cobb stays with him. Now Matthew again. That's a foul. Cobb can't believe it, but he got too much of the body, no doubt. And a timeout going to be called on the floor. I'm not sure if they actually called. They did not call Ty Cobb for a foul. My apologies. They just called a timeout. Brentwood got a timeout before then. So I was with Ty. I thought he got called for a foul as he ripped around. But a full timeout on the floor by Brentwood. Here's the situation. 1:18 to go. 54-49 our score. Brentwood with the lead. Their 13-point lead has been dwindled to 5. Ty Cobb with 8 in the quarter. Colton Johnson with 16 in the ball game. 3 for Jack Torrance, 2 for Finn Sissom. But on the other side, Davis Cochran has 9 in the quarter and 18 tonight. No doubt a double-double for Cochran. 10 rebounds for Jackson McCutcheon. And 14 points for Hudson McKnight. Pacing the way for Brentwood. Brentwood basketball, I'm sure they're going to try to kill the clock here and force Upperman to foul them. They've settled for some quick looks, and it's left the door open for the Bees. Final score in Carthage tonight, Pickett County knocks off Smith County 60-50. Cole Amonette with 25 points in his sophomore season. That's the debut, of course, for Lee J. Amonette, head coach of the Bobcats. 1:18 to go in the ball game here, 54-49. Running out of time, they get the inbound in. There's a bump in the back and a little trip. As Gray McAdams was working against Colton Johnson. That's Johnson's 4th personal. So now he'll have to be careful. They need him in the game. Finn Sissom will check in. I imagine that's exactly what it is. Defense, offense, substitution now for the Bees. Inbound coming here for Hudson McKnight. 1:16 to go. Man wide open. Now McKnight has it. They're trying to kill the clock. Here comes the trap. Gives it ahead to Cochran. Cochran wrapped up and fouled. And Joseph Maynard on the wrap. And this will be 2 free throws now as they've hit the bonus for Davis Cochran, who is 2 for 2 tonight. Both were on and one opportunities. Joseph Maynard picks up his first personal. If Brentwood makes their free throws and protects the basketball, they're going to win. But up 5, not a huge margin for error. First one for the big man Cochran is no good. Johnson going to check back in here for Sissom. Mentioned defense, offense. And Johnson wasn't sure. And again, one practice for Colton Johnson. He's been unbelievable tonight. Next one for Cochran. Trying to split him, and he does. Nice adjustment for the big man. 6-point game, 1:09 to go. Cobb going to bring it up. Upperman needs a quick bucket. They're not out of it yet, though, somehow. Feels like they've gotten dominated tonight and within 6. Torrance. Right side Bush. Now Johnson. Back to Bush. 57 seconds. They're going to have to move the ball here. Torrance over to Johnson. Back to Torrance. Cobb flashes off a screen, and it's an errant pass and a turnover. Just threw it away. Possession back to Brentwood, and that's probably it. 48 seconds left. Sissom back to the table. Defense, offense for Colton Johnson. They had Cobb in the corner and just an errant pass. That's kind of been the story of the night for the Bees. Now McKnight. They'll get Cobb for a foul. And Hudson McKnight will go and try to make it a 3-possession game. It's going to be the second personal on Ty Cobb. Cookeville boys get a big win tonight. They knock off Oak Ridge 59-53. That's a statement win for the Cavaliers. McKnight misses a free throw. And Brentwood just leaving the door ever so cracked for Upperman. Johnson back in for Sissom. 46.5 to go. Now Upperman cannot have those slow, methodical possessions no matter what happens on this free throw. Next one, nothing but nylon for Hudson McKnight. Timeout on the floor called here by Brentwood. Our presenting sponsor is Gentry's Power Equipment. Gentry's Power Equipment is your hometown steel dealer located on Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville. They present Upperman football, basketball, baseball all year long here on UCR. The Lady Bees got it done earlier tonight, 66-53. They looked very impressive. We told you this would be a dogfight type of game. Brentwood had a great start. Upperman has rallied, but is it too little too late? Down 7 with 46.5 to go here on the road. If they're going to have a comeback, it's got to start with a quick 2, 3, or and 1. And then some missed free throws. If not, Brentwood's going to have a celebration because they'll get a season-opening win. And both teams will get into the dog days of the season, non-district games, trying to get better. Both teams with state tournament aspirations. Obviously, Upperman trying to go back-to-back as the hunted instead of the hunters. And they were the hunted in this gym tonight. No question about it from Jump Street. .46.5 to go. Upperman basketball, they have to go 94 feet. And I would imagine this is about to be Ty Cobb all over the place. He'll let it bounce a couple of times and now go to work. Down by 7. Cobb off a screen. Steps back, hesitates, hit. Couldn't get the and one, but hit on the arm. Hudson McKnight just picked up his third personal. And this will be 3 free throws for Ty Cobb with 41 seconds to go, giving him a chance. Cobb at the line. He hit him with that old Kobe Bryant move. First free throw, no good. First miss of the night for Ty Cobb at an inopportune time. The Kobe move, you get that shot fake defender off your feet, you jump into him, get the contact, try to convert the shot. Next one for Cobb is good. Five-point game now. This one important because 2 free throws wouldn't push it beyond 2 possessions as Cobb makes the next. He's now at 30 points tonight. Rylan Case, the sophomore, in. Colton Johnson checks out, trying to get some more speed here for a trap. Upperman desperate to force a turnover. Down 5, 41 seconds to go. Inbound into the corner. Now McCutcheon. He's in some trouble. Spins back, and they call a foul. Eric Collier-Bush, I believe here, be his second. They do. And now 2 free throws. It's a free throw shooting contest. And a great shooter. Jackson McCutcheon has 3 threes tonight and 1 made free throw. Goes back to shoot 2 to try and stretch it back to a 7-point lead for Brentwood, which is important. That would be 3 possessions. First one on its way. Nothing but nylon. 11 tonight for Jackson McCutcheon as Colton Johnson checks in, as does Lofton Crouch. In for Jack Torrance. Very important free throw here for McCutcheon. Flies it away and hits. 2 for 2, a 7-point Brentwood lead. Upperman running out of time now. 35 ticks left. Cobb probably going to just trigger it. He tries to, instead gives it to Johnson, who drives and is fouled on the way up. 2 free throws coming for Colton Johnson with 28.6 seconds left at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw lot. We do have a few, and I emphasize a few sponsorship spots available on the Upperman broadcast this year. A couple of new ones. Usually, as you know, it's the same names for years and years on this one, but we do have a couple of new ones available. Send a message to our main Facebook page if you want one of them. We have a timeout sponsor, obviously about 10 of those a game. We also have a scoreboard sponsor. Everything else sold out for Upperman besides live reads and 30-second ads as Johnson makes the first. So send a message if you want one of those. 6-point game with 28.6 to go. Johnson to shoot a second. On its way and good. Finn Sissom Rylan Case in for defense offense. 5-point lead again for the Bruins, 28.6. Upperman desperate to force a turnover. McKnight to inbound, tipped by Cobb out of play, and it'll stay with Brentwood. Oh, what? They got to talk about that. They gave it to Upperman, which is just the wrong call. It was certainly tipped. Yeah, there's no doubt it was tipped. Inbounds coming here. Yeah, it was tipped. No question. I was stunned by that call. McKnight inbounds it. Now tips it. Cobb tips the pass. Bush with the steal. Bush lays it up with the right hand and good. Timeout, Bobby McWilliams. Upperman's within 3. They force the turnover, and it's 58-55 with 23.1 seconds to go. Full timeout on the floor by the Bees, who somehow have a pulse. It may be faint. That was also a ridiculous finish by Collier Bush for his first points of the night to contort over the shoulder and throw it through. Not easy for the young man, the senior, but he did it. So now, Bruins with a little more pressure. Upperman tying their smallest deficit of the game since the first quarter. Down 3, within a score with still 23.1 to go at 58-55. Now would be a great time for me to mention your business if you're the timeout sponsor. Send a message to our Facebook page. ABS, always be selling. Davis Cochran has not touched it in a while, but that's because he's the tallest young man on the floor, and this is a guards matchup right now. But he's their superstar. Ty Cobb, every bit as good as advertised. His coach at the next level, Richie McKay, is here. He's going to love what he sees. But does he have a little absolute magic in him? And this one would be a miracle if they pulled it off. Down 7 with under a minute to go. Now they're down 3 with 3.1 left. Baseline inbound coming here, and they're trying to set up a set play. Looks like a football route. McKnight runs the baseline. He does get it to Cochran, and there's the foul. Maynard swipes the arm. Upperman trying to extend the game. 21.5 seconds to go. Davis Cochran goes to the line as Joseph Maynard picks up his second personal. Double bonus here, as always, once you hit 5 fouls with the new rules a couple of years ago. Davis Cochran, he has missed 1 free throw tonight. 3 for 4 in total. Just needs 1 here, really, and he hits it. Back to a 2-score game. Johnson in, Torrance in for Sissom and Case. Cochran to try and stretch it back to a 5-point game. This one could be important later on if Upperman's able to go hit a 3. Big if. Next one is good. Cochran goes 2 for 2. Cool, calm, and collected. Johnson bounces it for Cobb. Gets a free few feet. Now he'll tap it. Cobb going to drive all the way inside. Throws it up with the right hand and good. Timeout, Bobby McWilliams with 16.2 on the clock. You wondered if they would go for the 3. Ty Cobb does not. He drives all the way in, throws it off the glass and through. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13 in the quarter, 33 tonight for Ty Cobb. He is certainly trying to put on the cape, but the problem is Davis Cochran's Superman on his own side. One of them's Superman, one of them's Batman. You can pick which one, but it's 60-57, and Upperman will be desperate to force a turnover here with 16.2 to go. And I do believe the Bees, they are out of timeouts, so that also impacts on a potential inbound off a made shot. Brentwood could bleed the clock down further. That's if Upperman even gets another shot. 16.2. The Bees have fought their tails off down the stretch here to even give themselves a chance. And now the offense is done. Colton Johnson's out there with 4 fouls. Trying to set up the play again to Cochran. Now they'll bounce it back. The trap arrives over to McKnight. They're going to have to foul. 12 seconds left. Now a dangerous feed. We've got a collision. Everybody's okay. That was a dangerous pass. Purifoy jumped into the air, really didn't know where he was going. This is just going to be 2 free throws, but at 10.6 seconds, if he can make them both, that would have, if one of them, it would essentially ice this game. They get Rylan Case for his first. Good on all the kids there, and everybody stayed calm. Just playing hard. Purifoy's first free throw is good. Brentwood's been really good at the line down the stretch. They missed a couple, but they've hit all the critical ones. Torrance back in for Case. Now Upperman probably going to have to settle for a quick 3. And even then, running out of time, if not out. Purifoy's next one. On its way. He connects. 2 for 2 for him. Timeout called this time by head coach Troy Crane of the Brentwood Bruins. Upperman trails by 5. Brentwood ahead 62-57, 10.6 seconds to go. Now is a great opportunity to remind you the clock on the screen is not official. Madison's keeping it while also running the camera. It is not official. It's not synced up in the gym. That's why you see it jump up and down sometimes to get it synced up. So in these final seconds, if it says 0 or it has time on it and the official says no, the clock in the gym is all that matters. The one on the screen is not. It's one of my worst fears that there's going to be some buzzer beater that's going to go viral because everyone's going to say the clock was out and it's actually not out. Don't forget, you can join us tomorrow night for the UCR football and basketball show live from the rooftop of Fire and Vine. Jacob Vincent and myself will talk about the state of high school basketball in the Upper Cumberland and preview 2 quarterfinal matchups, Clay County and South Pittsburgh and Gordonsville and Marion County. Gordonsville-Marion County is the high school football playoff game of the week on Friday night. Upperman going to have to go 94 feet, down 5 with no timeouts left. Brentwood probably, even if Upperman makes a shot, they should just hold the basketball. And as long as there's more than 5 or less than 5 seconds to go, they're going to win. Because the clock will continue to run in Tennessee high school basketball. Inbounds to Ty Cobb. Cobb bringing it up the floor. Weaving through traffic, has it knocked out of his hands, just drives, throws it up, no call, gets it back, puts it in. 3.6 seconds to go, and Brentwood does not have to inbound. Now we have a whistle, though. And that's it. Game over. So the ball game ends. Brentwood runs the clock out, and the Brentwood Bruins get it done tonight in their home opener. Upperman falls in a really fun basketball game. Final score, Brentwood 62, Upperman 59. We welcome you into the Nick's Restaurant postgame show as we tally up the scoring. Scoring from the game is as follows. For Brentwood tonight, it was 21 points for Davis Cochran, 15 for Hudson McKnight, 12 for Jackson McCutcheon, 4 for Jake West, and 2 for Luke Purifoy, for a team total of 62. For the Bees, an experienced broadcaster would have tallied these up while he was talking. 35 points for Ty Cobb, 18 for Colton Johnson, who was great, 3 for Jack Torrance, 2 apiece for Collier Bush and Finn Sissom, for a team total of 59. The Nelson Trophy and screen printing player of the game tonight is going to be Davis Cochran, 21 points in a winning effort, although a huge tip of the cap to Ty Cobb. 35 points, gave his team a chance, but the final is Brentwood 62, Upperman 59. Next up for the Bees, Banner Night at home in Baxter. They welcome in the Van Buren County Eagles. Girls game at 6 o'clock, boys game to follow. I'll have all the action for you live on the main UCR Facebook page, YouTube channel, and the NFHS network. Lady Bees get it done earlier tonight, 66-53. The Bees fall 59-62. That will do it from us here from Brentwood. Keep your eyes on UpperCumberlandReporter.com for the latest coverage of high school sports throughout the area. Goose tonight was in Jamestown as Jackson County took on York Institute, and a couple of fun matchups there. Split doubleheader here. Lady Bees win the opener. Brentwood wins the nightcap. Shout out to Madison McKay doing a lot tonight with all the broadcasts going on, doing a great job as always. We will talk to you all again tomorrow night for the UCR football and basketball show live from Fire and Vine. I'm Noah McKay. For all of us here at UCR, we say so long from Brentwood.